101.3 FM. The Game. WATH Athens, a Total Media Group station.
Good evening, Southeastern Ohio, and welcome to Total Media's Football Friday Nights, live from the War Room in the heart of downtown Jackson, Ohio. It's Eric Landrum. It is Bub with you for Week 10. That is right, Week 10 of high school football. Thank you for joining us this evening. Big shout out to our friends at Slarks Automotive Services who help make our Friday evenings possible. They've done it 9 straight Friday evenings, Bub, 9 in a row. Our friends at Slarks having tonight a busy Week 10, a fun Week 10, playoffs on the line, conference titles wrapping up. And I'm watching one team wrap up a conference championship at the moment, live over on Total Media Sports YouTube. Greg Bigham on the call, 100.9 Hank FM, over on WXIZ, Waverly, Chillicothe. Unioto is about to wrap up not only another SVC championship, but a perfect 10-0 season. We welcome you to the broadcast, Bub. It has been an awesome Week 10 to start things out. We've got a lot in store tonight.
Yeah, I mean, what a great couple of games that we got to witness early on in the night with the Jackson Ironmen and the Chillicothe Cavaliers taking on each other at Alumni Stadium. And then the Athens Bulldogs versus the Nelsonville York Buckeyes at Athens Stadium. That was a heck of a matchup down there.
Both final. Go ahead and break those for us, Bub.
I mean, we expected a pretty, fast-paced and accelerated matchup in these two games. I mean, both predominantly running teams, or both matchups include predominantly running teams. But, I mean, for Jackson and Chillicothe to start, I mean, the Ironmen just absolutely containing that Cavaliers offense from start to finish.
Absolutely.
I don't know off the top of my head what the biggest play for Chillicothe was in the running department, but it seemed like 16 yards or something like that seemed to be a big play for the Cavaliers tonight. So they really limited Carte Ligon in the running department, and the Cavaliers offense as a whole, start to finish, the Cavaliers opened up the game, throwing the ball 3 times and only giving Ligon 1 touch. I thought that was a little perplexing, to say the least.
That was interesting to me. I'm not real sure what the thought process was on that. The sooner you get a kid like him involved in the game. Here's the thing about the Jackson Chillicothe, and correct me if I'm wrong about this, Bub, but we both played in this game, and it's a high-energy game. It's always fast. But there's always an acclimation period in the speed of this game with Chillicothe that I think we always had to adjust to as Jackson players. Yep. And Chillicothe, I don't think, took advantage of that in this opening drive of the game. And I think that's an important first series of the game offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for them to get, starting off that drive, they got a first down in the first couple of plays, but then they decided they wanted to try to air the ball out, and really for no gain whatsoever.
No real apparent reason, unfortunately, on that one. You
get Ligon the ball 1 time, an underclassman, a sophomore running back that needs to really get accustomed to the game and the speed. And it's Jackson Ironman Week 10 at Alumni Stadium. It's a different beast in its own right.
Well, I just don't understand how Chillicothe, and again, as a Chillicothe team, it's done some really great things on the year. We're not starting off by bashing a team that was playing for a conference championship that no one had playing for a conference championship in Week 10. Nobody had that. If you did, you're probably wearing the blue and white yourselves, or at least repping that team, because that was not on anyone's radar. This looked like Jackson Miami Trace through and through. There's always a weird shakeup late. That's the way that a lot of these smaller team conferences go. But nobody had this Chillicothe team being where it was this late in the year. But said all that to say this, I don't understand how you watch film of Jackson Miami Trace, if you got that film, and you watch that first series and go, yeah, we need to come out throwing the football.
Right.
That one didn't make any sense to me. I didn't quite get that one. But nonetheless, the Jackson defense held strong early. They held strong often. That game finished 35-0. And Chillicothe just didn't quite have it for this Jackson defense that now it looked really inexperienced earlier in the year. And it got certainly taken advantage of against Ironton. But wait a second here. Yeah, the Logan Chieftains. They're going to lose their final game of the year, and they're going to move to 0-10.
Yeah, I believe
Taze Valley, 34-0.
Now I believe that game might have been called due to a brawl breaking out.
It's kind of what it was looking like there.
Yeah. That's what I heard. I didn't actually see anything on it, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure if nothing else, we will hear about it. There are a lot of things that we're going to be hearing about in Southeastern Ohio football over the next couple of days. And, Bob, it's not all related to things going on the field. And let's go ahead and swing it over to that world for just a moment here. The Ironton Fighting Tigers currently ahead of the Portsmouth Trojans down in Ironton, 55-13. The light show is in full effect. What looks like one final time this season.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to use it only one more time this season, they are getting the full experience of it this year.
A full usage this year, and we'll certainly have more to say about this later on. But right now, Bub, let's keep it on the contest itself, which is Portsmouth Ironton, one of the longest running rivalries in the state of Ohio high school football. This is a big game. It always is a big game. The end of the year, always a lot on the line. They share a region even. Big game. And right now in this climate, this is a huge game for players that are very much looking down the barrel of this being their last game of the season, last game of their careers. And in pregame, we talked about this being, Jason Filial joined us, and he spoke about this being potentially had the opportunity to be the winningest class in Ironton Fighting Tigers history. And now, your season is 2 minutes and 25 seconds away with a running clock, from coming to an end. And ultimately, a lot of these careers, Bub, coming to an end. A very emotional night in Ironton, a very emotional night. If you're a player, you got 4 minutes to go in this game or 3 minutes to go in this game, what's going through your head right now?
Just get everything out of it that you can, right? Like, I mean, you came into this game with 48 minutes of football in your head, and, I mean, just get the full experience, and it seems like that's what Ironton's doing. It doesn't seem like they're taking a starter out for this full game. They're leaving them all in. Now they're still playing the respectful game.
Sure.
It just, I mean, Ironton is a very talented team, and it's a team that's going to score naturally given any circumstance. So I think they are doing an excellent job of giving their community one more go around if circumstances do pan out the way they appear. And if you're unfamiliar, which not many people are in the area, it doesn't feel like, Ironton's looking down the barrel of some allegations as it pertains to recruiting violations. And the OHSAA, at least we expect the OHSAA, will make an announcement regarding what exactly those violations were. The investigation that is being ongoing at this point. Not only what those violations were, but how they're going to impact the future of this football team and this football program and the school and the community. Emotional, man. It is just an emotional night, no doubt about it. And for the players, we talked about this too off the air a little while ago earlier, Bub. But for these players, they've got, for these guys, they show up every day. They do the things that they're asked to do, and all of a sudden, you're thrown a huge wrench in the grand scheme of things, and then you're asked to play a football game the night later against your longest-standing rival. These guys are going to be drained. So I guess I just got to say, man, my hat's off to these young men at Ironton for enduring. I'm not absolving anybody of anything, true or not true at the moment, but my hat's off to these young men who are on the field wearing the black jerseys tonight in the midst of everything else that they've got going on and everything else that they're dealing with, playing a football game and playing very well, we may add. 55-13, clock ticking under 2 minutes at this point. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing to note is the players on the field, these are 15 to 18-year-old kids.
Yeah.
I think that just needs to be, noted and reminded to everybody that those are just young men that are just now getting ready to, start their young lives.
Yeah. Yep. So, again, it's a delicate situation. We are as anxious and as eager to see what happens with this Ironton football program as everybody else is. As always, if anything transpires and we hear anything throughout this broadcast, we'll let you know. We don't anticipate that will be the matter this evening, as the OHSA is pretty much taking a stance that we can expect that call tomorrow. And, with everything... not everything gets done right 100% of the time, but I will say I do think the OHSA was good in allowing that situation to be dealt with tomorrow. Let's get these kids one final game in tonight. Let's leave this uninterrupted at least for 24 hours, and let's sort all this out tomorrow before the playoffs and everything else. I like that decision. So, again, hats off to those young men down there. It looks like Ironton looks like they're going to come away with a win tonight. Again, clock's ticking under a minute now. It's 55-13. It looks like that'll be the final score, barring a big touchdown run. Let's go ahead, or touchdown throw for that matter. Let's go ahead and get you some of the other finals around the area now as we get settled in and locked in for a football Friday night. Jackson won 35-0 over Chillicothe. We mentioned the SVC over in that conference. Adena fell to Zane Trace 39-8, as well as Uniogo taking down Westfall. We mentioned Nelsonville York taking down the Athens Bulldogs. That's where we began our evening. That was a final score of 27-12. We'll talk about that one here in just a moment, Bob. The Northwest Mohawks take down the Oak Hill Oaks. The Oaks finish 1-9 on the year as the Mohawks win the game 20-0. River Valley picks up its second win of the year over the Fayetteville Rockets. How about that? The River Valley Raiders beat a pair of Rockets on the year, Bub. Wellston and Fayetteville, and they pick up a couple of wins. Over in the Twin States League, Warren falls to the Marietta Tigers 42-14. And those are the finals that I had, at least before we kicked things off here. That was about 10 minutes ago, though, Bub, so I'm sure we got some other ones pouring in.
Yeah, just one game to note. The Sheridan Generals did take down New Lexington 31-21 on the road.
Wow. That's a big one there.
Yep.
That is a big win.
A lot of good matchups tonight.
Sheridan. New Lex was one in the region, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think New Lex was number one. Thank you. They were number one in Division 4, Region 15. They were 9-0, number one over Indian Valley, Jonathan Alder, and Uniogo, and they fell tonight. Wow.
Yeah.
Huge win for Sheridan. And let's look over at them, Bub, and sorry to keep cutting you off here.
No, you're fine.
But it's playoff time, and playoffs are way more important than you, Bub. But Sheridan, the second 10 in the region 11, that could be the difference. Could be the difference in a home game and not a home game.
Yeah, absolutely. And for New Lex, I mean, that's a 9-0 team that's going into the playoffs with the blemish, and now they got to figure out how to, bounce back from the only thing they haven't done this season, which is lose. And they were going into playoffs with that.
Playoffs? Yeah, playoffs. We got more playoffs talk to come around the 7-4-0. We're going to be bringing you those in real time this evening. Playoffs won't be officially announced until Sunday. Everything we're saying is complete speculation and could be completely wrong if it's coming out of Bubba's mouth. But hey, nonetheless, we're going to speculate, and we're going to probably be wrong a time or two, but we're going to be right more times than we're not, Bub.
I mean, in my head, I'm always right.
Well, in your head, that's great. But once you start saying things out loud, that's where you really start to slip up. Bub, let's pick it up where we started the night. Nelsonville York, Athens. This game, we kind of felt like, Buckeyes favored in this one. Felt like the big advantage came to how tested the Buckeyes were. I felt like they knew their brand of football and understand what that would. Listen, Athens Bulldogs opponents coming into the night were a combined 16-65. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. Now, hang on. That's not great.
It's not good.
Well, hang on though. Nelsonville opponents coming into the night though, Bub. I mean, if I'm going to give both 31-50. So again, if your opponents on the year, if your opponents are close to 500, I think that's a really tough schedule. If your opponents are 500, you're playing a good schedule. Nelsonville was approaching that mark about 9-10 games behind 900 or 500 on their schedule. But again, Athens opponents, man, an average basically of 2 wins. An opponent at this point, 9 weeks into the year. I think Athens still gets in. I do believe that Athens will sneak in over Independence. But
it's just who on that list. I mean, when we were going through that list earlier about, theoretically who's Athens' best chance, I was looking at maybe a Sheridan team, in that area that would be now Sheridan takes down New Lex, and I don't think there's a team out there in that region that is a comfortable opponent that you want to face. That's a tough region.
It's a tough region. There's 13 teams alive heading into the evening. 6 of them had clinched playoff spots. Bishop Watterson, Licking Valley, Tri-Valley, Steubenville, Hamilton Township, Bloom Carroll, who lost this evening to
maybe
Circleville.
Bloom Carroll.
Yeah.
I'm not saying maybe a Bloom Carroll team that's going into the playoffs.
It just took down Hamilton Township a week ago. I mean,
yeah, but also just fell to a Circleville Tigers team.
I know. I'm really not sure what this region has in store, but let's take a look at the teams that have it clinched. That is 7 through 13 at this point. That's Buckeye Valley, who stands at 7-2. They controlled their own destiny heading into the night. We'll get you a final score from them. Linda McKinley, who was 8-1, also controlling their own destiny at the 8th spot. After that, you had Granville, Sheridan, who definitely didn't control their own destiny, but certainly took care of business in a way I think they're fine at this point. Hartley in the 11, Independence in the 12, Athens in the 3rd. Actually, Athens Independence switched, but
yeah.
I mean,
it just seems like a lot of points for Independence to make up against Athens, to where the Bulldogs do seem to clinch that 12 spot.
yeah, it's just
But that is a gauntlet of a region.
tough region. No question about that one. Let's swing it back to and just to get you guys a little bit of an idea. We're waiting on some of these other games around the area to wrap up. As they do, we'll get you finals. We'll get you voices of those broadcasts. We'll get these guys on the air with us, chatting some ball with us. Jeff Thacker, the voice of the Vinton County Vikings, he's going to be tuning in and checking in with us following the backyard brawl taking place in MacArthur. 124 left in that contest. Tune into that one over on 98.7 WYRO MacArthur, or swing over to Total Media Sports YouTube. Check it out. Again, 1:29 to go in the fourth quarter. Vinton County with a hefty lead in that one, 40-7. They are going to hang on to win the backyard brawl. And Bub, throw records out the window. When you're taking on a team from 8-10 miles up the road, it don't matter. It don't matter. These games mean a little something as the Ironton fans root their team on from the end zone to wrap things up there.
Yeah, and for Ironton, we'll see what happens for them tomorrow. But let's get back to that Wilson-Vinton County game for just a minute. A great play in that game that I just have to note was the pass from Wes Briggs to Josh Clarkson down the left sideline right before the half. Unfortunately for Wellston, they couldn't capitalize onto that drive and finish it before the half to go down 28-14. But still, what a great play. And there was a few great plays on the night. Unioto, wide receiver, had a 5-yard out route that he just back juked Dante Hall style into the end zone about 40 yards. It was just a lot of good plays tonight.
That was a big name to throw at me, Bub. Dante Hall.
Dante
you
Hall,
mentioned back jukes, and you're throwing out the name Dante Hall. That's
not two guys, only one guy on this juke, but still the same concept and very fluid.
Yeah, and again, Unioto, they took care of business tonight against Westfall. They moved to 10-0. They got their SVC championship. They finished unbeaten. I anticipate that they'll have a home game in the playoffs as well. I don't think they had clinched a home game heading into the night, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't believe so either, but I think after tonight, and with the loss to New Lex, or for New Lex as well, I think Unioto is pretty solidified for a home game now.
They clinched the top 8, so they technically have a home game. I'm referring
first
to
round
the bye. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. So the bye remains to be seen.
There's a guy with a crown and a chain in the booth.
That is I'm trying to remember just based solely off of jersey numbers.
Well, I actually believe number 24 is the one that did the Dante Hall back juke for the first touchdown for
I think at 24, I think it's Jackson Zickafoos, if I'm not mistaken.
Even if I had the name written down, I still wouldn't be able to pronounce that last name.
Zickafoos, bub. Zickafoos. They're joined with Greg Bigham, SVC post-game show over on Total Media Sports YouTube. And again, 100.9 Hank FM if you want to swing over. Listen to Greg Bigham chat it up with the SVC champion, Unioto Sherman Tanks. Head on over there and then swing it back here and listen to us. Bub doesn't talk too much on here. Bub, some big games being played around the night, but let's swing it back to last night where football really started in the 7-4-0. How about the Beaver Eastern Eagles? Division 7 Beaver Eastern Eagles, Bub. Not 1, not 2, 3 straight unbeaten 10-0 seasons. Hats off to Scott Tomlinson and the crew down in Beaver, Bub.
Yeah, for Eastern Beaver, I think we all seen the writing on the wall going into the season. It wasn't about weeks 1 through 10. It was about what they could do in the postseason, and now they've gotten to that point with an unblemished record. They're going to have a first-round bye. They're going to have a second-round home playoff game. The sky's the limit for this team if they can just play within themselves and play with confidence, because there's going to be some big opponents in this road ahead in their region.
So, obviously, yes, some big opponents, and I think they fare fairly well in this region. I do. It's a tough region. Especially, I think it's much tougher than Region 27 that they bounced over from as well.
Yes, absolutely.
tough region for Eastern fans. Obviously, there's a game that sits atop this region that draws quite a bit of attention. Marion local. Be real with me for just a moment. How does Beaver Eastern match up with a team like Marion local at the end of the day?
Well, I think the great thing about Eastern Beaver is that they have a running game or a running attack and a passing attack, and it's pretty balanced for the most part, even pass heavy on most nights, which is in Southeastern Ohio football. You don't see that very often. And you got the running back in Jack Montgomery, who is just a bell cow. He's a very physical runner. He has a high gear. Now, is he the fastest runner on the field? No, but he's got a motor that he can really work with. And I think obviously the Eric Manley connection to Boston Webb is something that you can't overlook. It's something that you're going to see night in and night out. For playoffs, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to find that connection, but Eric Manley is a well-vetted quarterback at this point in his career. I think he's ready for that challenge.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you look right down the road, and I hate to throw everything back to Jackson for a moment, but I'm going to compare two quarterbacks that were bred in completely different ways to play the position. Let's look at Bodie Wolford. Let's look at Eric Manley. Bodie Wolford, the time that little boy, that young little boy, him and all that curly little hair, was putting on a football helmet. He's probably what, 3, 4, running around with a football in the house. Eric Manley picked up a football for the first time at 3 years ago, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it really is two different kind of paths.
Eric Manley, at this point, I believe, has accomplished something near 60 touchdowns in the air. Bodie Wolford threw 56 on his career at Jackson.
Yeah. I mean, Eric Manley is putting up astronomical numbers. He put 10 touchdowns up in a game. That's more than most quarterbacks around here put up in a season.
Sure, and it's in a 6'7" quarterback. He can escape the pocket. He can throw on the run. He can throw in the pocket. He's got different. He can throw it over the middle of the field. He can throw it to the outsides of the field. He can throw it vertically. A guy like that goes a long way for your program, especially fits the mold for what that offense really wants to be, which is physical, in your face.
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive. And he's got the aggressiveness that I think complements that offense down in Beaver Eastern. And by the way, Bub, since we're mentioning our good friends down in Beaver Eastern, is there anything you'd like to say to our good buddy, Daniel Stewart, who got himself a shutout last night in this game against Green?
I think the greatest thing for Daniel Stewart is knowing that he is going to be able to sleep well this week, because he's not going to have to worry about playing any defense in Week 11. They got that bye. They're going to go on to Week 12 with that home game. But no, hats off to Daniel and his improvement in the coaching department over these last 10 weeks. I think it's something that should be admired as well. But he's got a long road ahead of him now, and I'm only just beginning in my stirring the pot with him.
Well, we know that, Bub. We know that you're forever stirring the pot down in Beaver, as you'll stir the pot just about anywhere. Last year it was Proctorville that you so stirred the pot for about 10 weeks, 12 weeks of the season. Well, Beaver, you're the lucky recipients of it this evening. But no, like you said, Bub, hats off to Daniel. Hats off to that squad down in Beaver. They're doing some really good things. You mentioned not having to play any defense next week. I think Daniel, Bub, they played football last night. You might see Daniel Stewart celebrating a 3-day weekend at your guys' usual gathering place.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'll leave off the air here.
I think it's going to be unsettling. We might just have an organic meetup.
Hey, whatever you guys decide to do, man. Sounds like a fun time to me. Bub, let's go ahead and get some final scores from around the area. They're kind of pouring in at this point of the evening. We welcome you wherever your listening ears are joining us from. Marietta Tigers take down the Warren Warriors 42-14. The Sheridan Generals shock the New Lex Panthers 31-21. Circleville Tigers defeat the Bloom Carroll Bulldogs 26-7. Logan Elm Braves fall at home to Hamilton Township Rangers 38-7. Zane Trace Pioneers Zane Trace Pioneers take down the Adena Warriors 39-8. Unioga Shermans defeat the Westfall Mustangs 35-13. River Valley Raiders knock off the Fayetteville Perry Rockets 29-12. Vinton County Vikings take down the Wellston Golden Rockets in the backyard brawl 40-7. The Northwest Mohawks shut out Oak Hill 20-0. The Valley Indians shut out the Menford Falcons 49-0. Jackson blanks Chillicothe at Alumni Stadium 35-0. Nelsonville York Buckeyes take down the Athens Bulldogs 27-12. The Meigs Marauders defeat the Alexander Spartans 30-3. Wheelersburg Pirates take down Portsmouth West Senators 49-7. 34-14. The Notre Dame Titans take down the Sciotoville East Tartans 34-0. And those are the finals that we have from around the area at this time. Of course, everything else pretty much in the third, in the fourth quarter, just waiting to go final, bub.
Did you get the score of the Hamilton Township Logan L game?
I believe I did.
Okay. 38-7.
Throw it at me.
38-7 for Hamilton Township.
Yes,
over Logan L.
38-7.
Okay.
38-7. Yep, I got that one. And that's kind of where things have left us, at least to this point in the evening, bub. And earlier in the night, I mentioned that there were some teams in the hunt that we're going to get to here in just a little while, and we'll talk about some of those teams. But earlier in the night, go ahead, Bubby. You look like you had a thought.
Well, it's kind of a thought I've had all day, and you know, especially after seeing Nelsonville York solidify the win tonight against the Athens Bulldogs. I mean, you got teams like Wheelersburg and Nelsonville York in the same region as Ironton, and you know, who knows what's going to happen with the future of the Ironton Fighting Tigers, at least for this postseason. But for, you know, a team like Wheelersburg and Nelsonville York, I mean, you've got to at least be thinking in your head a little bit how much easier that region is if Ironton isn't in.
Sure.
And I think a door does open up for, you know, not only those two teams, but that entire region.
Absolutely.
Ironton is a different beast, and I think Wheelersburg in their own right is obviously on a different level than anybody else in that region. Obviously, Wheelersburg has earned that one seed, even going through Ironton this season in that undefeated record. So I think Wheelersburg's the team to beat, and even if Ironton, you know, is able to play in the playoffs, I think Wheelersburg is still the team in that region.
Okay, I agree with you. So now that we have that one out of the way, let's talk about that, because let's say Ironton, by all intents and purposes, we heard it from Jason. Jason Philly all this evening. Ironton, by all intents and purposes, is not going to be eligible for the postseason. So let's not walk around the eggshells that is for the rest of the show, because let's just get that out in the open. If Ironton is not in the postseason, which we anticipate they won't be, if they are not, who's the top dog besides Berg? Who's the favorite to take down Berg? Is it Barnesville? Is it Nelsonville York?
I just feel we've seen kind of the Barnesville story last year, and that was a Berg team that wasn't playing as good at football as what it is this year. I mean,
Kind of how I feel.
I think Berg is the team to beat, and you're looking at maybe like a Nelsonville York, a team that can control the pace, but it just seems like it's going to be an very uphill battle for them against Wheelersburg.
I will say I'm very intrigued by a world where Wheelersburg and Nelsonville York take on each other in this region. I am. I do think Barnesville has some offensive output that is nice to see. I think the lowest amount of points they put up this year is 14, followed by 21. Then 34, 35, and then 40s every other game. That's a team that can score points. It just feels like if Ironton's not in the picture, it just feels like this is Wheelersburg's region. Kind of I don't want to say untouched, because that's not giving Rusty Richards and his crew enough credit. But I have to think convincingly Wheelersburg controls this region without Ironton in the picture.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it is kind of crazy to think that Columbus Academy was only 0.2 points behind Wheelersburg going into the week as a 3 seed.
Yeah.
Very tight race between those three teams.
They had a tough game against Jonathan Alder earlier in the year. Week 2. I think they lost by like 2 or 3 points. You know, and
Amanda Clear Creek is a very sleeper team in that region.
They are, but
and they won. I believe they were on pace to win tonight.
I think the problem, the single issue I have with Clear Creek is they've beaten 2 teams with winning records.
Yeah, which we're seeing. You know, with that trend, it's very tough to go into the playoffs, and even week 10 of the football season, you know, being not battle tested or not really ready for it.
But those two teams were Zane Trace and Circleville.
Which Circleville looks like,
that's pretty good competition in the grand scheme of things. I don't want to talk out about sides of my mouth, but yeah, I mean, realistically, 2 playoff teams.
And Zane Trace is in that region, I believe.
Yeah, 519. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're right there with them. So, I mean, there's again, not trying to shortchange the Nelsonville York team because again, I think that's a better team.
I think Nelsonville is a better team than what people will give them credit for in the playoffs.
I agree with that. I agree with you on that one. I think, like I said, I think that they're the biggest challenge to Wheelersburg is Nelsonville, but
yeah,
everything remains to be seen. Come playoff time in that picture, Bub, we had a few big games that we called big games on the evening that we were taking a look at. Obviously, Jackson and Chillicothe. Obviously, Nelsonville York and the Athens Bulldogs. Portsmouth and Ironton, based on the emotions and just everything that game was. We felt like that was a big game this evening. Haven't heard much from Colegrove and Rock Hill, at least at this point. Let's talk about that one for a moment, though, Bub, because, again, this is a game. The conference had been decided heading into this game. Colegrove is your conference champion in the OVC. But Rock Hill was really excited about this game, and, I don't know if it was more excited about this game or just the opportunity to bounce back after what Chesapeake was a week ago.
A couple tough weeks.
Just baffling.
I will say this for Rock Hill. I mean, they kind of started their downward trend with the Portsmouth loss, which, I mean, is a Portsmouth team that, although 6-4 record in the year, which I will say this. It is nice to see Portsmouth on maybe not a so successful season with still a winning record, a 6-4 record.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an era, and me and you both playing in the 2010, 2011 era where Portsmouth was really on a downward trajectory, and it's really nice to see the Portsmouth Trojans on a upward trend and going in the right direction.
Yeah, it is, and that conference I think was just so wide open, and and Portsmouth started off the year with a tough slate, man. I mean, they open up the year with Unioto, and then I think a conference game right after that against Portsmouth West, if I'm not mistaken, week 2. I think that was a week 2 contest. I don't have their schedule right in front of me at the moment, but
I believe week 3 was the Fairland matchup where they kind of took over. Or was week 3 the Fairland matchup?
No.
It is so tough without the actual schedule in front of you. All the weeks blend together.
I think that was week 6, week 7, because there was there was all the chaos around that game. And again, when you're covering 30 games a week over the course of 10 weeks, it's funny how they all start to run together on you, bub. But no, like I said, some big games around the area. I think Colegrove is another team in that 519 region that. I don't know that they're cut out for the picture that is the Wheelersburg Pirates, but I think that that's a team that could make a little splash and maybe go on the road if they had to and win a game in the postseason.
Yeah,
I think that's a team that's capable.
I think a team that would be fun in that region to kind of see slide into the playoffs is Northwest sitting at the 13 or 15 seed right now going into the week. I mean, they're a few points behind. It would be a significant jump for them, especially, only beating a Oak Hill team with 1 win on the season. It's not a lot of points for the Mohawks, but I would like to see them in and see the Carson Christian for Northwest.
Yeah.
I think he is a heck of an athlete, and he'd be somebody really fun to watch in that region if they do slide in.
Yeah, I agree with that, Bub. Keeping an eye on that region as well. One of the other teams that currently sit in that region, in the top half of that region, Afrocentric Early College. Let's go ahead and talk about them for just a moment. They're only 2 losses on the year: DeSales and Walnut Ridge. And DeSales beat them by 17, Walnut Ridge beat them by 20. That's a pretty good Afrocentric Early College. They're the Nubians, Bub, the Nubians.
Yeah, and that's a DeSales team that used to be Division III, and now they've moved up to Division II. So, I mean, they're getting very tough opponents on their schedule. While they may not be winning those matchups, they're competing, and they're getting a lot of knowledge going forward.
How about Independence over in Division III, Region 11? That's a familiar face that we've been talking about, Bub. Afrocentric Early College beat them 58-16.
Yeah. Hamilton Township took them down as well, 46-6. So,
yeah,
I mean that's not a team, or that's a team that could find their way into the playoffs as well.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. So, again, those are the fun things. Those are the things that we're going to be keeping an eye on with you here this evening as the scores pour in, as our crews start pouring back in that have been kind of out and about this evening, Bub. It's nice to see everyone making their way safely back into the studio. I want to go ahead and 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 productions tonight across Total Media stations.
What a
and
workload.
streams. 24 productions. I probably should have known that number heading into the night, but we didn't, and that's okay. But 24 productions. That's a lot of bodies. That's a lot of people out.
It's a lot of hands and a lot of moving parts.
It's a lot of moving pieces on our Friday nights, but the people that that hang around with us on Fridays and help make these things possible and help bring you the coverage that you so anxiously await and we so anxiously wait for on our Fridays. Well, we appreciate those folks and everything that they do as well. Greg Bigham wrapping up on the SVC post-game show over on 100.9 Hank FM. Really great broadcast and a great broadcaster. Called a great game this evening. He's done great work for us all year long. And just happy to see what we've seen from Unioto this season, man. They've shown us a good year. He spoke with Coach Hoops just a moment ago, so I have to go back and take a listen, take a peek at what he and Coach Hoops talked about. But Coach Hoops, Bub, he's one of the good ones. He's one of those guys. Speaking of a few of those guys, Coach Hoops is one of those that he's a football guy, Bub. He's a football guy, and he's got his team playing some pretty daggone great football as well. And Dan Morrow, Pete Wilson, they are back here.
They made it
in studio, but made it
short drive tonight.
Short drive, and I'm sure Dan Morrow didn't have to go 80 down 35. I'm sure Dan's not the speedy driver that we all make him out to be. I'm sure he's not, but I don't know how he's made it back the last few weeks. But he had a much shorter trip. Just down here, what I'm sure was Huron Street here in Jackson to make it back to the Plaza, Bub.
Yeah, and for him, I'm sure he's hoping that he might not even have to make a trip next week.
Yeah.
And, have a little commute the week after as well.
Let's talk about that real quick because we're going to get Dan on here with us here after we get to a break here in just a few moments. We'll ask him to stick around with us and hang tight, but Bob, let's talk about that for just a moment here, because right now the Ironmen currently sit at 5th in Region 12, and as you know, that's not good enough to hang out for a week and then play at home. That would be playing at home next Friday against whatever opponent that would be. What are the odds looking like that they could jump Miami Trace with a win tonight?
I mean, I think
even if Trace wins.
I think they're pretty good odds, right? Like, you beat a 6-win Division III team while Miami Trace is going on and taking a Division IV Washington Courthouse.
With 5 wins respectively.
But the divisions matter.
Yeah,
and that's a
they
significant difference for the Ironmen. I think Jackson's chances are pretty good, but also, I mean, I could see a world where they do fall a little bit short with the points, and Miami Trace does solidify that home playoff game, or that home first round bye and then home playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
But I would give it like a 60% chance for Jackson to get that spot.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a fair number.
And that's with having no numbers in front of me or anything, just gut feeling and just the way the points would add up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, and that's like we said earlier, and we'll continue to kind of asterisk that conversation, or kind of a disclaimer on the playoff conversation. But while what we have to say is relatively educated, we are speculating on what is the playoff picture. We're going to give you the best information that we have accessible. But if we call in, or if we miss one, make sure you call in and ask for Bubba on Monday. Just Bubba.
Just me?
Just Bubba. If we miss one.
I mean, Jackson is
Just
down
Bubba.
only 0.2 points going into this week.
Makes sense.
0.2 of a point. So, I mean, I think beating a Division III team with one more win over a Division IV team with one win. Now, we'll have to see how the secondary and third level points play out with all of that. But I think for Jackson and Miami Trace, where they both play, similar conference schedules, and then out of conference, I think Miami Trace took a couple more wins with Jackson playing the Ironton and the Berg out of conference. So, Miami Trace does have the advantage in the win column, but we'll see what the points all add up to at the end of the night.
At the end of the day, the points are the points, and they're going to tell you where you're playing Week 11, if you're playing Week 11, or if you're playing Week 12.
Yeah, it's not like whose line it or is it anywheres where the points don't matter. The points actually matter a lot.
Yeah, it's like the BCS.
God, that was the dumbest system ever. The BCS is nothing. There's nothing you can compare to the BCS.
I knew that would crush you, bub. I knew that get you fired up. I knew get you fired up, bub.
It seemed like such an overcomplicated way to do things. Bracket style solves everything.
No, Bob, that's not how they solve.
No, let's add all the teams into a computer.
I like a bracket. Let the teams sort it out on the field, but that's the way that we look at it here, Bob. Let's go ahead and get you some other finals here from around the area as these continue to pour in. We'll go through this list here of scores one more time for you, and then try to get you into our regularly scheduled programming as all of our stations join in with us here on Football Friday Nights. We got 10 of them, Bob. 10 of them. Morgan takes down the Philo Electrics 21-12. That's a huge win for a Morgan team. It's also looking for a playoff home in 5-19. Nice win for the Raiders. Marietta takes down the Warren Warriors 42-14. The Sheridan Generals knock off the New Lex Panthers 31-21. Amanda Clear Creek takes down the Liberty Union Lions 60-46. Hope you like points. Circleville 26. Bloom Carroll Bulldogs 7. The McLean Tigers fall to the Hillsboro Indians in a rivalry game.
Yep.
35-34, Bob.
The old 1 point classic.
The old.
You think they went for 2 at the end or something?
I'm hoping so.
And just didn't get it?
I'm hoping so. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not a situation where a young man missed an opportunity on a PAT. I'm hoping not for his sake, but we'll hear. We'll hopefully try to get some more from that game here in just a little while. Hamilton Township, the Rangers take down the Logan Elm Braves 38-7. The Guy Academy Blue Devils knock off the South Point Pointers 34-7. The Zane Trace Pioneers defeat the Adena Warriors 39-8. The Uniogo Shermans knock off the Westfall Mustangs 35-13. The River Valley Raiders defeat the Fayetteville Perry Rockets 29-12. The Dawson Bryant Hornets, the Coal Grove Hornets, one may call them, Bub, knock off the Rock Hill Redmond 26-7. Paint Valley picks up its first win of the year. Shout out to the Bainbridge faithful. The Paint Valley Bearcats knock off the Southeastern Panthers 41-25. Venn County takes down Wellston 40-7 in the backyard brawl. The Fairfield Union Falcons knock off the John Marshall Monarchs 50-14. Huntington lets one slip through their fingers in the township. Piketon takes down Huntington 36-30. Northwest blanks the Oak Hill Oaks 20-0 at Davis Stadium in Oak Hill. Valley Indians defeat the Minford Falcons 49-0. Jackson shuts out Chillicothe 35-0. The Eastern Megs Eagles defeat the Southern Tornadoes, the Racine Southern Tornadoes, Bob, 35-6. Nelsonville takes down Athens 27-12. The Megs Marauders defeat the Alexander Spartans 30-3. Wheelersburg takes down Portsmouth West 49-12. And Notre Dame, the Titans, defeat the Tartans, Bub. 34
that was the worst matchup of nicknames ever. That is just a tongue twister waiting to happen.
The Titans and the Tartans?
Yeah. You're bound to mix that up.
I mean, it's a little bit of a tongue twister, right?
I really want to know what happened with that McLean game at the end of it. I really want to know if they went for 2 or if we had the heartbreak of like a missed extra point.
I hope not. I'm really hoping that McLean went for 2. I'm really hoping. We'll find out. We'll see. We will hear at some point. Someone will give us this information. I trust the public, Bob. I trust the public on this one.
I'm rooting for him.
We're rooting for the public?
Well, yes. I'm also I can't get out of my head whenever Nelsonville played Waterford earlier on in the season, and Nelsonville or Waterford got down with the opportunity to kick like a 45-yard field goal.
So close.
I've never in a million years would have thought they would have gotten that field goal attempt that close, but we've seen a lot of good kickers come through the southeastern Ohio area in the recent years.
How about Guy Academy having the opportunity at Rock Hill to do the same thing, take down Rock Hill earlier in the year? You know,
Guy ended their season on a win. Hats off to the Blue Devils.
Hats off to Dalton Jarrell and the Blue Devils down there. If you're listening over on WBYG, we appreciate it, and we've been rooting for Dalton Jarrell and the Blue Devils all year long to kind of try to get the the wheel's back on this thing, man. It really hasn't been the same since Cole Carter departed, and he went to, I believe, New Brunswick. And just hadn't quite been the same.
Yeah, but a 4-6 record, 1 game under 500. I think that's a relatively good start for a new coach at the Gallia Academy Blue Devils, and I think they're going to do a lot of good things in the future. It's just one step at a time going forward.
One step at a time.
Just like walking down their stairs.
They got a lot of those steps, bub. They got a lot of them.
I know.
They got a lot of those steps. We're going to...
It's got to be the tallest set of stairs in southeastern Ohio. Next to, like, old Logan Field. Logan had a very steep set of stairs.
I forgot about those. I didn't forget about them, but yeah, they were in the banks of my memory.
Yeah, Logan's old stadium.
Those were treacherous.
Those were great environments growing up. Man. Going down to Memorial Stadium and seeing that Encompass Bowl, and the stadium was packed, and you'd get a Logan the following week, and it was just watching the Conrad brothers just do their thing, and the Engel brothers do their thing. Just so many great memories of Southeastern Ohio football.
Man, there's just so many good venues in Southern Ohio, and there always has been, and now some of those venues, yeah, sure, they look a little different. Maybe they're not quite as intimate, but man, there sure are some beautiful places to play football in the 740.
Oh yeah, I mean the 740 has upgraded just so nicely over the past even 10 years. We're seeing so many upgrades to facilities. We're seeing Ironton get the light show in Tank Stadium.
Yeah,
we're seeing Jackson have a great scoreboard. We're seeing them get the turf upgrade the turf, get new turf. We're seeing Wheelersburg I love their setup with the giant pirate ship in the background. Like, there's so many unique stadiums, and they all bring their own little, just kind of feel to their hometown.
They've all got their own little niche. Let's talk about 2 other schools, Bub. They got their own little niche at the moment. This game is actually not being played till tomorrow, so I'm kind of looking ahead here at things for just a moment. And again, we'll get to our first break and into our regular program here in just a few moments. We appreciate you lending us a listening ear wherever you're listening from in Southern Ohio this evening. How about this one tomorrow, though, Bub? Sims Valley 8-1, South Gallia 7-2. It's a Saturday contest. Both of these teams really don't care for each other. And personally, I think this will be a very good football game tomorrow. What are your thoughts between the Vikings and the Rebels?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm actually glad you brought this up before the break. I think this is going to be a great matchup between both teams. I'm glad it's on a Saturday where we can have a little bit more high school football. Now that does make the playoff. The guys that makes the playoffs rankings makes their jobs a little tougher, makes them have to work a little bit later. But who cares? We get a little bit or one more night of high school football. I think that's going to be a great matchup there. I'm going to take South Gallia at home, actually, to take that one and go to 8-2 on the year going into the playoffs.
I actually will as well, but what is it about South Gallia for you? I know what it is for me in this one, but what is it about South Gallia for you that makes you kind of lean that way?
Well, I just think, Eastern Beaver, Daniel is such a good defensive coordinator, and for him to give up over 40 points to South Gallia, that's got to speak some volumes to the Rebels' offense.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me being sarcastic about Daniel. I do think he is a good defensive coordinator, but I couldn't get the sarcasm. Taking a little jab at him.
I couldn't get the sarcasm initially, but once I looked over at you and saw your face, I saw the sarcasm.
But that is a high-powered offense that can score points at a premium at a very fast rate, and I think that's going to be the difference in this game.
I mean, I think so as well, but I think I like the way South Gallia can match up physically. I really like the way that they just stood toe-to-toe with Eastern last week, and that was just 2 teams standing toe-to-toe with one another, just letting them swing at each other.
Yeah, I mean, just going at it in the points department. Probably one of the highest-scoring total games we've seen this season.
Yeah.
And over, 117 points in that matchup?
123. 72-51.
Oh, yeah, the last touchdown run at the end.
The final in that game, and yes, you're right. The touchdown,
the icing on the cake to that entire game.
Boy, at the end, man, that one was tough. If Daniel Stewart could have heard Bubba that night, that's all I'll say. Bub, that kind of brings us through what we called our biggest games of the night, at least. With Portsmouth, Ironton, Cold Grove, Rock Hill, Portsmouth West, Wheelersburg. I guess we kind of touched on Wheelersburg, but we didn't really talk much about this contest. Wheelersburg just rolling. The Portsmouth West Senators. And, I mean, Bub, Berg just on a different level in their own conference right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Wheelersburg doing Wheelersburg things, just scoring. And for Wheelersburg, it seems like they take the foot off the pedal early on in games, and they're very respectful about the game. Like, I don't see Wheelersburg ever having a moment where they are intentionally and blatantly just running the score up. It seems like Wheelersburg's a very respectful team. They've always been, notorious for that. And I think for them, they're just all about get in, get out, take care of the business, and also get their depth some reps. I think Wheelersburg values their depth a lot, and that's how you make a big playoff run as well, is getting your depth involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a very tested Wheelersburg team.
Yes.
As well. So, I mean, there's obviously as tested as anybody else in the region. And they got it done tonight, 49-12. Did everything that they needed to do, running clock. Hopefully, if you're a Wheelersburg fan, you got out of there injury free, and now you can look ahead at enjoying a bye, which you certainly wanted, you certainly hope to have. But now, if you're the Portsmouth West Senators, I mean, you really have to stop and look at things, and what does the playoff spot really look like for the Portsmouth West Senators?
Yeah, sitting at a 5-5 record right now for Portsmouth West. I don't have the rankings in front of me for that respective region, but I think for Portsmouth West, a 5-5 record just doesn't seem like it's going to cut it.
Well, they controlled their own destiny coming into the night at 5-4, sitting in the 9 spot. Behind them was Dayton Christian, Deer Park, and Huntington. Huntington also fell this evening, so that's a big help. And then followed by that, Covington and Blanchester. Covington was 5-4, Blanchester 3-6. So Portsmouth West still quite likely that they'll find a playoff spot in there, somewhere between the 7 through 12 spot. But going to be going on the road. They're going to be traveling a little bit.
Yep. Which just makes every playoff game exponentially harder, especially going into an environment on week 1 of the playoffs. Everybody's amped up. Getting an extra week of football just makes that journey a little bit more treacherous.
If the playoffs ended coming into the day, they would have been traveling to Cincinnati to take on Summit Country Day, who was also 5-4 heading into the evening, Bub. So there you have it. They're
going to be on the road, and it seems like it's going to be a little bit of a hike for the Portsmouth West Senators if they do make it in.
It's going to be, that's putting it delicately. It's going to be quite the haul, Bub. We're going to go ahead and get to our first break of the evening. When we get back, we are going to have some of the voices from Southeastern Ohio calling in, more final scores pouring in, and hopefully, before we get out of here, a complete look at what we think will be the playoff picture in Southeastern Ohio. You are listening to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Total Media Sports and Slarks Automotive Services.
The Uptown Clinic powered by Holzer is located at 5 North Court Street in Athens. Nurse practitioner Amy Ward and staff provide walk-in urgent care services, on-site lab testing, primary care services, and much more. If you're on your way to work, class, or back home and need care, stop by the Holzer Uptown Clinic, conveniently located for Ohio University students, staff, and families. That's the Holzer Uptown Clinic at 5 North Court Street in Athens.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Looking for a home away from home for your furry friend? Welcome to Red Woof Inn, where tails wag and dreams come true. At Red Woof, we offer spacious play areas, cozy naps, and personalized care from our dedicated team. Whether your pup loves fetch or just snuggling, we've got it covered. Our facilities are top-notch, and our staff are dog lovers through and through. From playtime adventures to treat-filled cuddle sessions, we ensure your pup has a blast. Give your dog a vacation they'll love at Red Woof Inn, located on Old Dixon Road in MacArthur. Call 740-649-8640 to book your fur baby stay while spots are still available.
Calling all hunters and outdoor enthusiasts, it's time to gear up for your next adventure with our buy one, get 2 free sale on select items at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. That's right, 3 pairs of boots for the price of 1. Whether you're planning for the hunting season, need new hiking boots for the trails, or even a new pair of work boots, we've got you covered. Don't miss out. Stop and see us today at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come get fully stocked up for any season at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store.
The Slark family has welcomed drivers through their body shop doors for many years. And now, with the addition of Slark's Tire and Service Center, formerly Jackson Tire, they continue to provide the same great experience, care, and quality you can count on. Our certified technicians bring experience and knowledge and provide fast, expert service with top quality brand tires and parts to keep your car running smoothly and road ready. Reliable, honest, and hassle-free. Visit Slark's Tire and Service at 66 East Broadway Street in Jackson, your local tire and auto repair expert.
Mom, my teacher said some kids don't get new shoes when school starts.
That's why Southern Ohio Soles is so important, honey. They make sure that underprivileged kids start the year with shoes that fit and feel good.
So, if people give money, more kids can have shoes for school?
Exactly. Every dollar helps a child walk into class with pride, ready to learn and ready to thrive.
Can I help too?
Everyone can. Visit www.southernohiosoles.com now and help a kid start school confident and strong.
Are you tired of dealing with malfunctioning garage doors? Look no further than True Track Garage Doors in Londonderry. Our team of experienced technicians specialize in garage door repairs, installation, and maintenance services. Whether you need a simple repair or a brand new garage door installation, we've got you covered. At True Track Garage Doors, we prioritize customer satisfaction and ensure that your garage door is functioning properly and safely. Contact us today at 740-596-1000 to schedule an appointment or request a free estimate. Call True Track to get you back on track.
Willis Advantage Property Solutions delivers dependable, full-service property maintenance you can trust. We specialize in asphalt repair, infrared patching, surface cleaning, parking lot striping, and powerful hydrojet drain cleaning, serving industrial, commercial, and residential customers across the region. From small fixes to large-scale projects, we get the job done right, on time, and on budget. Call now for your free consultation at 740-577-4574. Willis Advantage Property Solutions. We protect and maintain what matters.
970 AM and 97.3 FM. The Game. WATH Athens, a Total Media Group station.
The following is a special sports presentation from the Total Media Sports Network. It's Football Friday Kickoff, presented by Slark's Collision Center. As we get you ready for all your football action across the 740. Tonight's show is presented by Slark's Collision Center and brought to you by
Holzer Health System, Howard Hanna, McMillan Network, A.T. Hoy Transport, Higgins Steel Roofing, Rocky Outdoor Gear Store, Nick Station, Steak and Shake, True Track Garage Doors, McFadden Insurance, Ohio Valley Bank, Hocking College, Area Agency on Aging District 7, Willis Advantage Property Solutions, Hidcock Glass, and Southern Ohio Soles.
Now let's kick off your Football Friday night. Here's Eric Landrum and Ethan Sargent.
Welcome to Total Media's Football Friday night. Eric Landrum and Bub with you in the war room. But that Sargent guy, he's here with us as well. He's on the line with us. And he started the night where we all did. Athens High School, Joe Burrow Stadium. But the Sarge himself stuck around, and he got to witness one heck of a football game between the Buckeyes and the Bulldogs. Sarge, welcome to the broadcast. What'd you see tonight in Athens, my friend?
Well, it was a great game, Eric, and I've had the pleasure of sitting down with Rusty Richards a number of times this year, whether it was on our coach's show or whether I was talking to him before a big game. And he always had half an eye on this game. He had a feeling that this game was going to be important, and well, lo and behold, it was. And he said to me this week on the coach's show, "Look, we've got a game plan, and we're going to stick to it. And that game plan is to shrink the clock." Right? They wanted to do as much of a job as they could of limiting possessions for the Bulldogs and allowing their offense to just control the clock. And in the first half, I would say they did a decent job, not quite a great job, but a decent job of that. They went into the locker room up 14-6. First quarter was 0-0. Neither team actually breached the scoreboard in that first frame, but Nelson New York quickly changed that, got on the scoreboard early, and then And it was Athens' big trouble. 2 turnovers off of kickoffs, 2 fumbles by Tyreek Cunningham. Disaster struck for Athens in that department. Athens had 3 turnovers to none for the Nelsonville York Buckeyes. That was a difference maker. But after that turnover, NY went right down and scored again. Alec Thompson in the corner of the end zone. And then Athens put together a really good drive, consistently balancing the run and the pass. Got it to 14-6 with about 18 seconds left in the first half. And, well, you're thinking, okay, Athens took their lumps, but they're still very much in this ball game. So what does Nelsonville York come out of the halftime locker room and do, Eric? Well, they just wind about 7 minutes of clock off and punch it in at the start of the third quarter. It was picturesque for football purists. 5-yard run, 4-yard run, 5-yard run. Austin Gauthier had over 100 of his 139 yards in the second half. He was absolutely fantastic. And from there, really, the Buckeyes just maintained control. There was another kickoff fumble. And really, this is the craziest stat of this whole game, Eric. And this is one of the wilder stats that we've had, I think, on the show this season. Athens did not touch the ball on offense in the third quarter of this game. The next time the offense touched the ball, they were down 27-6. They went down the field, that long touchdown drive, kickoff fumble, it wasn't quite as long, but another touchdown drive that took a lot of clock. Athens did not touch the ball until about 11:30 was on the clock in the fourth quarter.
Wow. I mean, it's a hard recipe for success if you're Nathan White and company. You can't play football if you don't, A, have the football, and B, can't hang on to the football. It's one of the things we talked about for Athens. No sacks, no penalties, no turnovers. And it sounds like Nelsonville did everything that Rusty Richards wanted to do tonight.
All 3 of those things went against Athens. They gave up a number of sacks. Caleb Layton in particular was devastating. We talked about him in the pregame, about how good he is. He made his mark. He had a couple of sacks on Daniel Heitland. Penalties, Athens killed themselves with penalties in the first half of this game. Matt Frazee gave me this stat. Athens had 5 holding penalties coming into this game all season. Athens had 5 holding calls in the first quarter of this game. So the penalties were a big factor in this game for Athens. And then obviously we just talked about turnovers. So yeah, those are 3 key things that when they all go against you are going to lead to breakdowns. And well, unfortunately for the Buckeyes, fortunately for the Buckeyes, unfortunately for the Bulldogs, it was things that went against Athens tonight.
So talk to me about what you saw from Nelsonville then. Obviously, Athens did its own damage to itself, but by the sounds of it, I mean, Athens isn't an offense that just shows up, wakes up one morning and commits 5 holding penalties. It sounds like Nelsonville is really putting the pressure on Athens and being aggressive while also controlling the entire tempo of this game.
They were, Eric, and the big thing about that is, I mentioned this a second ago when it came to game planning, right? When you come in with a set mindset, and Rusty Richards had a very clear idea of what he wanted his Buckeye team to do and the way that he wanted them to operate tonight was clear as day. And it was a game plan that I'm not going to say it worked to perfection, but it worked pretty dang well. And that is exactly what the Buckeyes were looking to have operate for them because, you know what, at the end of the day, they played probably about as good a 4 quarters as you can ask for. Again, I reiterate, I don't think this Athens team is bad, right? They're going to make the postseason now. Looking at some of the results from around the 7-4-0, it looks like they're going to be all right this evening. Looking at what the Buckeyes do now, they get a week off. They get a chance to rest, to reset. Both Rusty and I talked to both Alec Thompson and Austin Gauthier after the game. They were both thrilled, or all 3 of them were thrilled that, well, they're going to get the chance to relax, hit the showers, hit the saunas a little bit this week, get right, get healthy. And look, with all the uncertainty around the Fighting Tigers and everybody else in that region, Nelsonville York could probably feel pretty good about maybe making a run in Region 19. The last time they entered a the last time they entered a postseason at 10-0, they went on to win their region. That was in 2017. That was Region 23. So, it could be a little repeat of history in the cards.
What kind of threat do you think that they actually pose to, say, the Wheelersburg Pirates? Because we heard from Jason P. Bubba, and I said this a little while ago. By all intents and purposes, Ironton's not going to the postseason. Let's just call that what it is right now. Without them in the playoff picture, what challenge do you think that Nelsonville York can present to a team that's rolling like Wheelersburg?
Well, it's a similar story to what you see tonight, right? Which is where the time of possession is heavily slanted in Nelsonville York's favor. They get a couple of timely turnovers, and all of a sudden you look up at the clock and you're down 2 scores and there's 3 minutes left in the game. And you're like, wait, but it's 8:30. And that's kind of what happened to Athens tonight, where it was, I don't think Athens played particularly poorly on offense. They had some moments, right? Anthony Sutton still went over 100 yards, but they were controlled, really. They were controlled by the Buckeyes, and that's the formula I think that they're going to ride on all throughout the postseason, right? No matter who they come up against. And let's say they do end up in a matchup against a Wheelersburg team that, honestly, I think, it would be a great matchup in the trenches between those two schools.
Yeah.
But I think if you were to look at what they are able to do in that game, and Wheelersburg would, the way that NY would beat Wheelersburg is if, NY holds the ball like they did for almost, I believe, 15 of the 24 minutes in the second half, if not more of that. They control the football, they control the clock, and they just, what a lot of coaches say, it's that 4 yards a carry will do you a whole world of good. And that's what Nelsonville York had tonight. 4 yards, 5 yards. They didn't have any of the crazy home run plays. I mean, the second touchdown was about a 20-yard play. That was probably their longest or second longest play from scrimmage. Aside from that, there wasn't much else that this Buckeye team had to really do. They just chipped away all night long. And that's a formula that, look, when they've got the athletes that they do on that line, it's a formula that can work in the postseason.
Sure is, and Rusty Richards has proved that time and time again. And it looks like he and his team being 10-0, taking the postseason field here in what will I assume to be Week 12.
Yes.
It sounds like they're ready to do some damage in the playoffs. I think is putting it fair. Sarge, we got to step aside and get to our first break of the program, and we got several other voices to hear from. Anything else you want to throw at us at the moment?
I'm going to be keeping my eye on all these brackets throughout the night. I can tell this Region 27 will not be decided tonight.
Yes.
There's a big one tomorrow between Sims Valley and South Galley that will determine a lot of things seeding wise. It may well determine South Galley's playoff fate. We'll see how things shake out this evening. There were a couple of interesting results around the 7-4-0. Morgan beating Philo is a very notable result in Region 19. That gives Morgan the even with or without the Ironton stuff, it gives Morgan a big leg up in terms of their positioning in Region 19 and actually getting into the postseason. There were some other interesting scores. How about the Jackson Ironmen? This team. I don't know what Carte Ligon was able to do, or maybe more accurately, what he wasn't able to do, but I think this Jackson defense took Carte as a challenge, and by goodness, they succeeded, is what I'll say. That's a statement win for the Ironmen, and like I said in the pregame, that's a team that's playing their best football in October, and you don't want to face a team that's playing their best football in October. So the Jackson Ironmen are playing great football right now. I'm excited to see what Andy Hall and that program can do. I believe they're going to sneak into a bye spot. They might get the week off as well.
Sure looking like it. It's sure looking like it.
It seems like it with the way things are shaking out.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a lot of the other results kind of went the way we thought they would. I will say McLean put a heck of an effort up against Hillsborough, come up 1 point 1 point short, 35-34 was final on that one. Shout out to the Paint Valley Bearcats, getting their first win of the season over Southeastern, 41-15, the final there. Shout out to River Valley, getting win number 2 on the season over Fayetteville Perry, 29-12 was the final score in that matchup. Valley's going back to the postseason, which is a big deal. Huntington is going back to the postseason, which is a big deal. Huntington had to scratch and claw, but they got it done. So we'll have to see what happens in that matchup. I'm excited for that program for sure to see what they're able to do in the postseason, considering what they've had to deal with over the last couple of years. Really happy to see that program back on the come up. And I'm gonna be probably listening to you guys and scoreboard watching and writing things down and trying to get sorted on where we're gonna head next week, because next week can be really interesting. A lot of great teams that aren't playing, right, because they get the week off, but also a lot of great matchups with teams fighting their playoff lives, trying to cause some upsets in a lot of these power regions. Eric, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be busy all week long.
We're going to be busy just because some of these other teams that are hardworking and they've earned it. Well, hey, they might get a week off, but Sarge, us bums, we don't get a week off, man.
We don't get a bye.
We're back.
We do not get a bye.
That's it. That's it.
We are rolling.
Enjoy your football weekend, Sarge. We'll catch up with you over the weekend or next Monday, Wong, and you enjoy your weekend, my friend.
Absolutely, I will, and it's going to be fun to see. Can you believe we got playoff football in front of us?
Playoffs.
We didn't have Jim Mora.
I know. We just need a little bit of Jim Mora.
We didn't have him this week.
I know. We need a Jim Mora soundbite. That's what we really need. We need that before we take the field for Week 11. Sarge, we'll let you go. We appreciate it. Enjoy your weekend,
Absolutely.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Good luck for the rest of the way. Thanks.
All righty. Thank you, sir. We are going to head to our next break of the program. When we get back, more scores. We're going to at some point hear from Jeff Thacker, but we got Jeff General Davis on the way to chat with. I don't know if he wants to talk to me. He definitely wants to talk to Bub, though. I don't know what they got going on together, or, what have you. But hey, they love talking football, and General's happy Bub's back talking some football with us as well. So keep it right here. You are listening to Football Friday Nights Week 10, presented by Slarks Automotive Services.
Need a ride to your medical appointment? Medication ready for pickup? A.T. Hoy, LLC, has you covered. We provide fast, safe, reliable transportation for medical recipients in Hocking, Ross, and Benton counties. And we're proud to announce we're serving Benton County veterans. We thank you for your service. A.T. Hoy is always looking to expand our crew. Apply online or drop anchor at one of these 3 locations today and grab an application. Call 740-596-0536 today to see if you qualify for free transportation. A.T. Hoy, charting a course for care.
When it comes to glass, experience matters, and Pidcock Glass in Nelsonville has over 30 years of it. From windows and doors to custom glass projects, they can handle almost any job. Pidcock Glass is Southeast Ohio's premier service company to call if you're experiencing glass loss or damage. Whether it's your home, business, or special project, trust the experts who've been serving the community for decades. Let Pidcock Glass brighten your day. Call 740-753-4527 or visit pidcockglass.com today. Proud supporters of area high school athletics.
Need to expand or remodel your building? Increase your inventory or have access to working capital? Let our experienced business loan team help you grow your business. We specialize in business loans. Ohio Valley Bank, a better way to bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at ovbc.com.
Craving good eats in Nelsonville? Head over to Nick's Station, home of Footlong Friday, where the footlongs bring the flavor all day long. And now introducing Western Burger Wednesday. Get a juicy Western burger and a medium drink for just $8.99. Then cool off with Nick's delicious ice cream treats. The perfect ending to any meal. They've extended their hours, so stop by Monday through Thursday until 10, Friday and Saturday until 11, and Sunday until 9. Nick's Station, fast and friendly with hometown flavor. Nick's is a proud supporter of area high school sports.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
Home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end. Your Erie agent is McFadden Insurance. Get a quote today at McFadden-insurance.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
House hunting? Selling? Don't get sacked by stress. Howard Hanna Real Estate and the McNerlin Network team are your real estate MVPs in Jackson. They've got full playbook, mortgage, title, home warranty, insurance, and global marketing that scores big with buyers. No fumbles, no flags, just smooth moves to the end zone of home ownership. Call 740-702-6000. Let Howard Hanna Real Estate and the McNerlin Network team quarterback your next big win.
You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff on Total Media Sports, presented by Slarks Collision Center.
Yeah, you are. Welcome back. You are listening to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Slarks Automotive Services. Eric and Bub, we got more of the sounds and scores and voices you love from across southeastern Ohio, but we got to take one more break. Catch things back up when we return. The General, Jeff Davis, all the way from Tiger Town. He's up in Worthington this evening. Tigers were in Worthington Central for a contest outside of the conference, and I want to hear how things wrapped up in Tiger Town for this evening. I'm sure you do as well. Keep it right here. You're listening to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Slarks Automotive Services.
The Uptown Clinic powered by Holzer is located at 5 North Court Street in Athens. Nurse practitioner Amy Ward and staff provide walk-in urgent care services, on-site lab testing, primary care services, and much more. If you're on your way to work, class, or back home and need care, stop by the Holzer Uptown Clinic, conveniently located for Ohio University students, staff, and families. That's the Holzer Uptown Clinic at 5 North Court Street in Athens.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Looking for a home away from home for your furry friend? Welcome to Red Woof Inn, where tails wag and dreams come true. At Red Woof, we offer spacious play areas, cozy naps, and personalized care from our dedicated team. Whether your pup loves fetch or just snuggling, we've got it covered. Our facilities are top-notch, and our staff are dog lovers through and through. From playtime adventures to treat-filled cuddle sessions, we ensure your pup has a blast. Give your dog a vacation they'll love at Red Woof Inn, located on Old Dixon Road in MacArthur. Call 740-649-8640 to book your fur baby stay while spots are still available.
Calling all hunters and outdoor enthusiasts, it's time to gear up for your next adventure with our buy one, get 2 free sale on select items at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. That's right, 3 pairs of boots for the price of 1. Whether you're planning for the hunting season, need new hiking boots for the trails, or even a new pair of work boots, we've got you covered. Don't miss out. Stop and see us today at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come get fully stocked up for any season at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store.
The Slark family has welcomed drivers through their body shop doors for many years. And now, with the addition of Slark's Tire and Service Center, formerly Jackson Tire, they continue to provide the same great experience, care, and quality you can count on. Our certified technicians bring experience and knowledge and provide fast, expert service with top quality brand tires and parts to keep your car running smoothly and road ready. Reliable, honest, and hassle-free. Visit Slark's Tire and Service at 66 East Broadway Street in Jackson, your local tire and auto repair expert.
Mom, my teacher said some kids don't get new shoes when school starts.
That's why Southern Ohio Soles is so important, honey. They make sure that underprivileged kids start the year with shoes that fit and feel good.
So, if people give money, more kids can have shoes for school?
Exactly. Every dollar helps a child walk into class with pride, ready to learn and ready to thrive.
Can I help too?
Everyone can. Visit www.southernohiosouls.com now and help a kid start school confident and strong.
Are you tired of dealing with malfunctioning garage doors? Look no further than True Track Garage Doors in Londonderry. Our team of experienced technicians specialize in garage door repairs, installation, and maintenance services. Whether you need a simple repair or a brand new garage door installation, we've got you covered. At True Track Garage Doors, we prioritize customer satisfaction and ensure that your garage door is functioning properly and safely. Contact us today at 740-596-1000 to schedule an appointment or request a free estimate. Call True Track to get you back on track.
Willis Advantage Property Solutions delivers dependable, full-service property maintenance you can trust. We specialize in asphalt repair, infrared patching, surface cleaning, parking lot striping, and powerful hydrojet drain cleaning, serving industrial, commercial, and residential customers across the region. From small fixes to large-scale projects, we get the job done right, on time and on budget. Call now for your free consultation at 740-577-4574. Willis Advantage Property Solutions. We protect and maintain what matters.
Back to more of Football Friday Kickoff on Total Media Sports, presented by Slarks Collision Center.
Welcome back to the War Room. You're listening to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Slarks Automotive Services. It's Eric, it's Bub, and it's Week 10 of Football Friday Nights. We've had a blast so far in Week 10, and now let's get to a guy who has a blast in everything that he does. It is the General of Tiger Town, Jeff Davis, with us. Can you hear us, sir? We can certainly hear you.
I got you, bud. Is Bub there? I haven't heard Bub.
Oh, I'm here, baby.
It's Bub. I can leave you to be if I need to. It's you, Bub, in Southern Ohio.
Hey, we had quite an adventure tonight at Worthington Christian. We had a power outage. We were on the air until kickoff, and then we were not on the air again until the middle of the second quarter. But we finally got back on the air.
Oh,
and
man.
the Tigers did show up tonight. It ended up being a great game. Ended up 36-33 Worthington Christian.
Wow.
And, we were just talking, we're all in the car here trying to get home, although there's construction all over Columbus. And I think Todd's got us toward Zanesville or something right now. I'm not sure, but West Virginia border, we're crossing right now. But
You took the Wheeling exit, huh?
Well, Worthington Christian got the ball and took the lead with 2:05 to go. But Waverly had 2 timeouts, plenty of time. And, the last drive, they complete a 6-yard pass and then a 2-yard pass and then an incomplete pass. So that was 4th and 2. And, an 8-1 team finds a way to get that first down. But when you've had the kind of year Waverly has,
yeah,
the snap never made it back to the quarterback. It rolled around, got picked up, and now, Worthington Christian, as you guys I'm sure know, sitting at 14th in Division 5 Region 19. Depending on what happens with Ironton, that might be a chance to sneak them into the playoffs.
Right, that was a huge. This was a huge contest for Worthington Christian, and for Coach Crabtree and squad, it was kind of a chance to play spoiler for the Tigers. How much of that you think played into the pregame message for the Tigers tonight?
Well, you got to believe that was what it was all about, and we've talked about many times. Have this kind of year is can you keep the ship afloat? I mean, that's kind of the words we use in Waverly, and. They did a pretty good job at keeping the kids playing hard and whatnot, and we're in a lot of games. Last week against Northwest, put up a pretty good fight. Hey, by the way, speaking of Northwest, I saw that score at halftime at 0-0 with Oak Hill. That one caught me a little bit off guard.
It did us as well.
What was the final of that one?
It ended up 20-0.
Yeah, and we saw Northwest a week ago. Pretty nice looking offense. Now they did have a key player out. The way I understand it, but
yeah, and honestly, just couldn't get anything going. No momentum against the Oaks tonight. I'll give the Oaks a little bit of credit there.
Yeah, hey, and I don't know if you've talked about this game, but I heard a story a minute ago. Taze Valley and Logan. Have you heard this story?
We have heard that maybe this game ended in a fight, ended in a brawl. You know much about this one?
Well, I tell you, it was 34-0 mid-second quarter. Taze Valley putting it on an 0-9 Logan team, and a bench clearing brawl broke out the way I heard it, and the referees got together and said, "Skip it, we're done. Turn the lights off. Game over." So
the refs shut the lights off. Wow.
Yeah, they still get their 125 apiece. Let's bag it right now. We got justification. So
anyway, that's the way it goes.
First time in 10 years, the Tiger season done in week 10. It's a little strange, but it happens, and hopefully, good Lord willing, we'll be back to do it again next year.
Well, let me ask you a question looking ahead at next year, because, you guys play great basketball and you play great baseball. Don't get me wrong, but I got to look ahead to Tiger football a year from now. What does that look like in Waverly a year from now?
Well, we only graduate 3 seniors, and,
wow, that's
only
huge.
One of them was really significant every day. Well, maybe 2, but so they return most everybody. Gunnar Meyer's going to be back at quarterback.
Yeah.
The receivers are all back, the backs, and we saw some defensive improvement, especially with some young guys in the last few weeks. So, things are bright. There's only one direction to go, I guess.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
And, we're used to winning here now, and hopefully we find a way to do that again. But we are looking forward to basketball. Should be a great season of basketball, and you know how we do things in baseball. So
yes, sir.
It's just one season down and a couple more to go.
General, we appreciate it.
By
We'll
the way,
go ahead,
Eric. I want to mention I got Andy Valerie was a fill-in tonight on our crew.
Yeah,
and he's got a daughter in the band, and he wants everyone to know, and I got to back him up on this. The best darn band in the land is the Waverly Tiger Band. Okay,
they got one heck of a band
again. 10-0 again this year. Yes, sir.
The band is unbeaten.
Yes, unbeaten.
I love it.
Untied.
The Tiger Town Band, baby. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
They're unbeaten on the pride of Waverly, the pride of Tiger Town, baby.
Hey, do you have any insight into the Ironton thing before I let you go?
A little bit. Not much more than we had for the pregame. It seems like the OHSA is waiting till tomorrow to release anything at all. It seems like they were kind of giving the seniors one more night on their own, and they'll release something tomorrow, but nothing more that I've got.
Well, and I think that's a good decision. I think the timing of this is a little unfair to everyone, but, it is what it is, I suppose.
Unfortunately, yeah, you're exactly right. And actually, General, we may have to let you go, but after our next break here, we may have to break some news because it looks like Ironton itself is releasing a little bit of information, but I don't have quite enough time to break it this segment. So I'll have to break it in the 11 o'clock hour.
Hey, and listen, since I'm not busy, if Bub needs a friend next week, Friday Night Lights, you just let me know and I'll be there.
I'll tell you what, Bub could always use a friend. The best I can do is be a brother.
Hey, if Jackson has that first round bye, I'll be out and about.
Hey,
yeah, baby.
Southeastern Ohio's not ready for both of you together in the same vicinity. We just got to be there. Hey,
you darn right.
Be careful.
Later.
We'll see you. The General of Tiger Town here, taking the time to join us. And again, not trying to give too much of a teaser here, but the world's most dangerous engineer is sending us some information. This coming from Ironton Schools here. So again, we will break that when we get back from our break. We're gonna stick with it here for a couple of minutes, but based on the significance of this, I don't want to break it, run to a break, I guess, so to speak, and then just leave it all together. So we'll come back. We'll do it all kind of Band-Aid style, so to speak, and we'll get really into the nitty-gritty of what's going on down in Ironton. But, Bub, it's good to hear from the General, and it's good to hear that the Waverly Tigers showing some signs of life. There's air in the lungs of the football team in Tiger Town. 3 seniors in that program. It took a Worthington Christian squad on the road tonight. With a young first-year quarterback even, and lost by 3 points to that team. So hats off to Coach Crabtree and the Waverly Tigers. Could have been real easy to look at things after dropping maybe your first 4 or 5 games, throwing the towel. But this is a team that fought in every game that they were in. They had the right signs of life. And that's what you want to see from a program that's perennially reloading, but ever so often has a rebuild. That's what the Tigers are dealing with.
Yeah, I think, for Waverly, just, again, not a lot of those games at the end of the season were blowouts or any capacity, and they were against opponents that you're going to see in weeks 11 and 12 in the high school football playoffs. So for Waverly, with only a 2-8 record, they showed a lot of improvement, especially over the last 3 weeks, in my opinion. I think the Waverly Tigers are going to be fine going into next year. They're going to have a little bit more of development on their roster, especially with only graduating 3 seniors. I look forward to seeing what they do in 2026.
You know what? And, like we said, Coach Crabtree does a really good job down in Tiger Town with that squad. And Bub, let's look back even as early as week 1. This has just been such an emotional year for the players of Waverly, dealing with what they've had to deal with, and the community, and just everything that's going on down in Waverly. On top of it was going to be a tough year anyway. You look at the schedule that they played one of the toughest schedules in southeastern Ohio when you really stop and look at it at the end of the day. And like I said, brighter days in Waverly, but you took your lumps this year. Let's just say what it is. But with 3 seniors, as you noted, and the general noted, they'll be fine going forward in the future. And that's where you hang the hat on week 10. You look ahead at next year, like the general said, they play good basketball. They play good
great basketball down in Tiger Town.
He's a baseball guy. Loves him some baseball. He's been coaching baseball longer than Bub's been able to.
He's been coaching baseball? Nobody told me he was a coach for baseball.
The general is an absolute baseball legend.
What, to start calling him the big unit?
Tiger Town. He is, now, you don't want to go blowing up the general's ego, Bub. You don't want to do that.
Little Randy Johnson?
I mean, listen, what?
Wasn't Randy Johnson's nickname the unit or something like that?
Yeah, the big unit, but where are you getting the general and Randy Johnson?
He's a baseball coach.
Randy Johnson was 6'10" and left-handed.
I mean,
what
the
about
general
Randy
is
Johnson
nothing like that at all. But he's a party animal.
We got to stop. This is taking a weird baseball turn. I see what he's trying to do to me on Friday.
You took me to a baseball game this year. This is your fault.
You've had the opportunity to go to a baseball game. I don't know why you're blaming me for this, Bub. We got to get to a break. When we return, we did say we've got news coming out of Ironton. Ironton City Schools has released a statement. We will read a portion of that statement when we return, and it does include a portion of the sanctions that the OHSAA will have on Ironton City Schools. Keep it right here. You are listening to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Slarks Automotive Services.
Looking for a bank that puts you first? At Farmers Bank, they've been helping neighbors grow for over a century with personal checking and savings, business loans, convenient online and mobile banking, and customer service that treats you like family. Whether you're planting roots or planning your future, Farmers Bank will help every step of the way. Stop by one of their local branches today and experience why Farmers Bank is your hometown bank since 1904. Member FDIC. Farmers Bank, growing with you.
Need new tires? Rick's Tire and Auto has you covered. Looking for top-notch auto service? Rick's Tire and Auto has expertise. And now they're bringing their A-game to Athens County. Owned by Rick Dieter, formerly of Huddle Tire in Athens. Rick's Tire and Auto Service is located at 1353 East Canal Street in Nelsonville. Right off the first Nelsonville exit on 33 West. Stop in for a quick tire change or oil change, or schedule an appointment by calling 220-218-4169. At Rick's Tire and Auto, we have your vehicle covered.
Need a ride to your medical appointment? Medication ready for pickup? A.T. Hoy, LLC has you covered. We provide fast, safe, reliable transportation for medical recipients in Hocking, Ross, and Benton counties. And we're proud to announce we're serving Benton County veterans. We thank you for your service. A.T. Hoy is always looking to expand our crew. Apply online or drop anchor at one of these 3 locations today and grab an application. Call 740-596-0536 today to see if you qualify for free transport.
Welcome back to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Slarks Automotive Services. Eric and Bub with you here as we approach the 11 o'clock hour. And we promised you a little bit of information coming out of Ironton, and we do have that information. This info being released by the Ironton City School District as of today's date, October 25th. This message was written to the Ironton school community. And I'll read the first paragraph of this statement. If you're interested, head over to Ironton City Schools District on Facebook. It is with heavy hearts that we share with you that we've received notification from the OHSAA of their determination that district coaching staff engaged in recruiting violations in 2018, 2019, and 2025. And the OHSAA's sanctions will include suspension of Ironton High School from participation of this year's playoffs. The sanctions further include OHSAA's suspension of the 3 coaches involved from coaching in the playoffs next year, as well as placement of this year's football program on probation through the 27-28 school year. To be clear, these are sanctions imposed by the OHSAA. The Ironton Board of Education has taken no action at this time. The OHSAA's determination followed an investigation during which we repeatedly advocated strongly for the district's football program and its students, presented all rebuttal evidence available to us, and did everything we could in short time provided to achieve a different outcome. So, Bub, again, there's 2 other paragraphs you can read along with that. Given the nature of our program, we can't break down all 3 paragraphs. But again, if you want more information, Ironton City School District, head over to the Ironton City School District on Facebook. They've got the post. You can take the time to read it over there as well. But, Bub, based on that information, here's what we gather. Ironton is going to be excluded from the postseason this year.
That's the big one.
That's the big one. That is the one that Ironton fans, that one stings, especially for student athletes. But what is not being specified, at least in this statement from Ironton City Schools, not necessarily the OHSA, at least at this time, there's no sanction that will remove the 2024 state championship. That is everything.
Yeah, that is everything.
That is
for
huge.
Ironton and the community.
That is huge, and rightfully so. We talked about this off the air, and we'll probably talk about this much more passionately off the air than we'll get into it on the air. But I think it was important in this situation, and if this is all that it is, as far as sanctions go, this really stings for an Ironton athlete today, a student athlete that is today. Looking to continue their career this year. That one really, really stings. Anticipated, sure. Stings, yes. But we really hoped that the OHSAA would look at this and not do anything that harmed former student athletes or took away from future student athletes or anything. While it does harm that student athletes that are currently in this position, you also have to make sure that it's handled appropriately. I think it is to some extent. They're not going back and taking away a state championship from someone and then handing it over to someone else for a game they didn't win or anything like that. I think that's a good thing. I think in that regard, the OHSA got this right.
I agree with you. I think in the regard of keeping the community alive and well with, keeping the title in Ironton, I think that is great. What I can't get behind is it seems a little light of punishment for the people that were actually involved in the violations.
I don't disagree with that.
And that's where I'm a little confused. And I mean, we were talking about a potential 2-year ban on the players, but we're not seeing anything happen other than a few postseason suspensions on these coaches.
Sure.
And I think they should have been the big focal point in all of this. And it does seem a little bit like more of the players got the short end of the stick. And I don't know how I feel about it.
I see why you could certainly think that. Because this year's players are getting the worst of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're not saying the players can't be in the playoffs a year from now. They're just not going to allow the coaches to be in the playoffs a year from now. So I do think it was at least considered. Let's not punish the kids for 2 postseasons.
Yeah, and I'm all for letting the players play in the playoffs.
But I think if the intent is there from the OHSAA, I didn't expect the OHSAA to be this thoughtful, I guess, or considerate of the players themselves. And I think they are working to find a solution that prohibits this type of behavior, but also doesn't necessarily harm the success or the accomplishments or achievements of the kids. Despite right now this year, you have to do what you have to do. I mean,
if the OHSAA thinks this is bad, wait until NIL gets involved in the future.
That's a different can of worms that we could be talking about tonight.
But I mean, this is just a bump in the road of what we should expect the OHSAA to kind of handle these situations. And I mean, this is going to be a litmus test for them.
Yeah, NIL's going to be something else in and of itself. But yeah, you're exactly right. And a night where we could be talking about the scoop that Neil will bring to the table in high school football locally and other sports locally, we are talking about this. But again, I look at intent, and we'll get back on track with football here in just a moment, because again, I think this is important news, but I don't want it to overshadow a busy Week 10, an important Week 10. I think that the resolution, I think it was going to be imperfect no matter what it was, but I think that the consideration is there of the OHSAA to at least consider the resolution that impacts the players in the least significant way possible. Does it sting? Like I said, sure. You can disagree, sure. But I think that intent was there, and I can't always look at these situations and say that. And I think that they at least tried to come up with something that didn't 10 out of 10 harm the players.
And I think, and let's be honest, Ironton could not continue this football season with what was going on. You could not let the Ironton Fighting Tigers continue in a playoff run and potentially ruin the seasons for a whole bunch of other teams.
Yeah.
You know, you did have to put your foot down on this season. I completely understand that. And, you know, that it does sting for the players. It's unfortunate for the players, especially the ones who weren't involved in any capacity whatsoever.
Right.
But it just seems like, again, and I'm just, the guys who were involved, the grown men that were involved, the grown gentlemen, it seems like they got off just a little light to me. They knew better.
That we can see eye to eye on to some degree. We'll keep it moving on that one. Again, want to keep it moving in the direction of football. It was a busy week, busy Week 10 around the area. I'm trying to see, and we are finally starting to see playoff spots pouring in now. And boys and girls, let's get it over to Division III, Region 12 for just a moment. It looks like that's where Bub's hoping to start things with me. The Jackson Ironmen have clinched a top 4 and a bye, jumping Miami Trace with an 8-2 record to Miami Trace's 9-1. Jackson Ironman fans, again, we are speculating on playoffs this evening, but early on in the playoff picture, Joe Itel has you with a bye. So stick around. We'll bring you more from the region. But right now, Jackson Iron, let's go through what we know in this region at the moment. Right now, London at 1, Tippecanoe at 2, Baden at 3, Jackson at 4. Those teams all have byes in the first round. Looks like Miami Trace would be shaping up to play Hillsboro, with the winner of this game headed to Alumni Stadium in Week 12 to take on the Jackson Ironmen. How about an FAC trifecta in the playoffs, Bub? This is one that our good buddy, listener of this show, want to shout you out, Jason Brown. Our good buddy Jason Brown sent me a text earlier in the week saying, hey, there's a playoff picture I'm seeing shaping up in my world. What do you think about this one? Could this happen? And I said, I think you're all over it. I think you're exactly right. We love that you're looking at the playoffs on a random Tuesday in October with us, Jason Brown, because guess what? We all are in Southeast Ohio. We all are. It's not just War Room Fridays.
It's Week 10.
It's Week 10.
Past 11 o'clock, we're going to see these start rolling in,
it's
kind
great.
of the playoff shape-ups and everything.
But what a way for this to shape up if you're a Jackson fan, right? I mean, you're going to be taking on Miami Trace or Hillsboro, both of which you had to go on the road to take down.
I believe it's Franklin.
Franklin's
sitting at number 12.
Are they? I've got Hillsboro at 12 on my list right now.
Hillsboro's at 15 on mine. Wilmington 14.
Okay.
But Hillsboro's 4 and 5 on mine right now. So
I've got them 5 and 5 sitting in the 12 right now.
So you've got a little updated one.
I've got That's what I've got
All right,
right
yep,
now.
you're right.
Okay,
I got you
okay.
here.
Glad we're on the same page here. Again, this is all speculation. This is all what ifs, and could be, could change, right? There's Saturday games and things like that. But right now, it looks like Jackson's going to take on the winner of Miami Trace and Hillsborough, and that game would take place at Alumni Stadium.
Yeah.
Both teams Jackson had to go on the road to take on and had very little trouble with between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Miami Trace fans, I know you're sitting out there hoping you get this week 1 or week 11 win and you get to rematch the Jackson Ironman. Now, Jackson did take down Miami Trace on the road, and Miami Trace is going to have to come into Alumni Stadium in week 12. They've never had that kind of experience at Alumni Stadium in week 12. It's going to be a different environment.
Madhouse.
And I know you were there for that matchup against Miami Trace in week 9?
Yeah, week 9.
Week 9, it feels so long ago with week 10 right around the corner and the playoffs right around the corner. But I know you were there in that matchup, and the atmosphere there was electric. I'm ready to see that rematch at Alumni Stadium if it happens. But for Jackson, you're lined up with an FAC rematch regardless. So you are sitting very pretty. And also, you've switched out of the region with Bishop Watterson. So you're looking at London or Tippecanoe in the 1 or 2 spot. And I think Jackson has a very realistic chance, if not now, to win a region.
I mean, it looks like that. I mean, you don't have to go through a defending state champ this year in Watterson to do it. Speaking of these 3 schools, and Hillsborough took on McLean tonight. Hillsborough won that football game. We can confirm through the world's most dangerous engineer and his sources, Bub, that McLean went for 2 and did not get it. So Greenfield McLean fans, if you're listening to us on Light 97 WVNU Greenfield, respect it. You do it. You go for it, and you try to walk off that field with all the glory you can. Gut-wrenching way to lose a football game, but we got all the respect for you in the world. That is a rivalry game, and you are trying everything you can to make something happen at home, headed into, like we say, basketball season. I love the thought to go for 2 in the rivalry contest, Bub. Shout out to the world's most dangerous engineer for getting us that information.
Yeah, and for Greenfield, I mean, it was an opportunity for you to get 4 wins on a season where you started off really good, and the FAC as a whole had a tremendous improvement this year. So I don't blame him at all for going for 2. I respect it. And for Hillsborough, you came away with the win. You secured a playoff spot. You managed to slide in, and now you got a familiar foe in Miami Trace sitting there at week 11.
Absolutely, Bob. And let's go ahead, and we talked about the 3 FAC squads in that region. Let's go ahead and talk about the 4th FAC squad in that region. Chillicothe Cavaliers, that would be taking on Archbishop McNicholas, Bub, at McNick, both 6-4. And Bub, based on the surprise that you have on your face,
right now, Athens is sitting outside in Region 11.
No.
They are sitting at 13.
Oh, no.
Now, they are 1 point behind Bishop Hartley, who is 5-5. I mean, Independence is 6-4, sitting at 11. At Athens.
Hartley jumped.
Hartley's sitting at Hartley's sitting at 5-5.
Oh,
at the 12 seed. It's not official yet, but this is a bad break for the Athens Bulldog if they manage to fall out of the playoffs with only 1 loss on the year, and that loss comes in week 10.
We'll keep an eye on some of these regions here, and again, we'll work on getting you the playoff picture. But let's go ahead and get you all of the final scores one more time before we head to a break here. Again, we'll be with you all the way up until midnight, wherever you're listening from across southeastern Ohio. Notre Dame Titans take down the Sciotoville East Tartans 34-0. Portsmouth West Senators knocked off by the Wheelersburg Pirates at Ed Miller Stadium 49-12. The Meigs Marauders take down the Alexander Spartans 30-3. Nelsonville York Buckeyes on the road knock off the Athens Bulldogs 27-12. The Eastern Meigs Eagles take down the Southern Tornadoes 35-6. Jackson Ironman blank the Chillicothe Cavaliers 35-0. The Valley Indians take down the Minford Falcons 49-0. The Northwest Mohawks blank Oak Hill 20-0. The Piketon Red Streaks knock off the Huntington Huntsmen in the Battle of Blaine Highway. That's at least what I'm calling it, Bub. 36-30. It's a tight stretch of road between the 2 schools, Bub. Mind your business. Right there off 23. John Marshall falls to the Fairfield Union Falcons 50-14. The Wellston Golden Rockets fall to the Vinton County Vikings Vikings in the backyard brawl by a final score of 40-7. The Southeastern Panthers fall to the Paint Valley Bearcats 41-15. The Ironton Fighting Tigers in what will be their final game of the year take down the Portsmouth Trojans 55-13. The Cold Grove Hornets knock off the Rock Hill Redmen 26-7. The Fayetteville Perry Rockets take down the River Valley Raiders 29-12. The Westfall Mustangs fall to the Unioto Shermans 35-13. Hold that thought up. St. Trace Pioneers knock off the Adena Warriors 39-8. The Guy Academy Blue Devils take down the South Point Pointers 34-7. The Hamilton Township Rangers knock off the Logan Elm Braves 38-7. Hillsboro Indians win by the skin of their teeth against the McLean Tigers 35-34. McLean goes for 2, does not get it. Hillsboro takes down the Tigers in a 1-point fashion. Fairland Dragons take down Chesapeake Panthers 34-17. The Circleville Tigers shock the Bloom Carroll Bulldogs 26-7. Amanda Clear Creek takes down the Liberty Union Aces 60-46. Fisher Catholic takes down the Manchester Greyhounds 25-0. Shout out to you listening on WAGX over in that part of the state. Sheridan Generals take down the New Lex Panthers 31-21, and the Warren Warriors fall to the Marietta Tigers 42-14. Bub, you got a lot of things going on in what looks like playoff land in your brain.
Yeah, it's just, there's a realistic world where we see Unioto not get a home playoff game after going 10-0, but also it seems like Ironton would have jumped Wheelersburg to get the 1 seed if they were able to go to the postseason this year.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. That is such a shakeup in that Division 5 Region 19.
It's crazy. It's a crazy playoff picture. It always is, but this year, man,
also, Portsmouth
really
did just barely fall out of making the playoffs as well. I believe they finished in the 13th spot. So unfortunate for the Trojans. Tough way to end the season. But
that is a tough one. That's a tough one. We're going to be back with more here in just a moment. We got you your scores. Now we're going to take a full look at the playoff picture here in just a moment when we return. Keep it right here. You're listening to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Slarks Automotive Services.
Hey, it's me. Well, you from the future. Let's talk budget. Gas prices are going up. You blew your budget buying groceries, and here comes your bill for car insurance. Now, that's one bill you can control when you choose Erie Insurance.
Do your future self a favor and ask about Rate Lock from Erie.
The only thing going down is the waistline on our jeans.
Your Erie agent is McFadden Insurance. Get a quote today at McFadden-insurance.com.
Go to ErieInsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
House hunting? Selling? Don't get sacked by stress. Howard Hanna Real Estate and the McNerlin Network team are your real estate MVPs in Jackson. They've got full playbook, mortgage, title, home warranty, insurance, and global marketing that scores big with buyers. No fumbles, no flags, just smooth moves to the end zone of home ownership. Call 740-702-6000. Let Howard Hanna Real Estate and the McNerlin Network team quarterback your next big win.
The Uptown Clinic powered by Holzer is located at 5 North Court Street in Athens. Nurse practitioner Amy Ward and staff provide walk-in urgent care services, on-site lab testing, primary care services, and much more. If you're on your way to work, class, or back home and need care, stop by the Holzer Uptown Clinic, conveniently located for Ohio University students, staff, and families. That's the Holzer Uptown Clinic at 5 North Court Street in Athens.
Trying to find a durable new look for your retail office, house, garage, or new barn dominium? Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding has added 2 new profiles within the past year that would make great options. A heavier 26-gauge metal board and batten with several colors to choose from adds a fresh new look to any project regardless of size. Or come in and check out our new options for standing seam. If it's steel roofing and siding, it comes from Higgins. Located in Hillsboro and Jackson, Higgins Steel Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated since 1958.
Looking for a home away from home for your furry friend? Welcome to Red Woof Inn, where tails wag and dreams come true. At Red Woof, we offer spacious play areas, cozy naps, and personalized care from our dedicated team. Whether your pup loves fetch or just snuggling, we've got it covered. Our facilities are top-notch, and our staff are dog lovers through and through. From playtime adventures to treat-filled cuddle sessions, we ensure your pup has a blast. Give your dog a vacation they'll love at Red Woof Inn, located on Old Dixon Road in MacArthur. Call 740-649-8640 to book your fur baby stay while spots are still available.
Calling all hunters and outdoor enthusiasts, it's time to gear up for your next adventure with our buy one, get two free sale on select items at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. That's right, 3 pairs of boots for the price of 1. Whether you're planning for the hunting season, need new hiking boots for the trails, or even a new pair of work boots, we've got you covered. Don't miss out. Stop and see us today at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Come get fully stocked up for any season at the Rocky Outdoor Gear Store.
The Slark family has welcomed drivers through their body shop doors for many years. And now, with the addition of Slark's Tire and Service Center, formerly Jackson Tire, they continue to provide the same great experience, care, and quality you can count on. Our certified technicians bring experience and knowledge and provide fast, expert service with top quality brand tires and parts to keep your car running smoothly and road ready. Reliable, honest, and hassle-free. Visit Slark's Tire and Service at 66 East Broadway Street in Jackson, your local tire and auto repair experts.
Mom, my teacher said some kids don't get new shoes when school starts.
That's why Southern Ohio Soles is so important, honey. They make sure that underprivileged kids start the year with shoes that fit and feel good.
So, if people give money, more kids can have shoes for school?
Exactly. Every dollar helps a child walk into class with pride, ready to learn and ready to thrive.
Can I help too?
Everyone can. Visit www.southernohiosoles.com now and help a kid start school confident and strong.
This is Football Friday Kickoff on Total Media Sports, presented by Slark's Collision Center.
Welcome back to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Slark's Automotive Services. We are live in the War Room. I want to give a special shout out to Southern Ohio Soles. The Southern Ohio Soles Foundation is dedicated to putting shoes on the feet of children and families in need across our region. Through community donations and local partnerships, they ensure every step forward starts with comfort, confidence, and care. Join us in supporting the Southern Ohio Soles Foundation, because no one should go without having a good pair of shoes. Bub, we are back in the War Room on Football Friday Nights, and it has been a busy one here. And we've heard a lot of different things from around the region. We've heard about the situation going on in Ironton this evening. We've heard about the situations across all of the playoffs, the conferences, and all of the final scores from a huge Week 10 in Southeastern Ohio, which is pretty awesome. It's been a fun year, and it's awesome to see it all come to a culminating head. But, Bub, you've got some things in hand at the moment, and you just look dumbfounded yet again.
Yeah, I mean, you were just talking about the region again with Ironton and all that. I mean, looking back, if Ironton isn't allowed in, Portsmouth is going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we were talking about what a tough way to end your season. Well, hey, what a better way to revive your season. You're back in.
I mean, think about that. Let's think about that dynamic for just a moment.
I think I know where you're going with this.
You just beat us 55 to 13. And you're going to be sitting at home.
Yep. And they're basically taking their spot.
Right. Oh, man.
What a
that
weird way to look at it.
It just somehow got... Is it? I don't know. Is that worse?
I mean, it's definitely.
I don't know, man.
Salt in the wound.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's your biggest rival.
Yes. They played against each other 130 whatever times, Bub. 130 times.
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, Ironton definitely got their money's worth tonight in the matchup.
Can you imagine playing someone in football 130 times? If I have 130 conversations with you, I'm hitting you in one of them. Like, imagine 130 times of football.
Yeah, no. I mean, I couldn't imagine talking to you 130 times.
Wow. And now, yeah, like I said, yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, they have to put a time limit on here because I strictly mandated it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But albeit, it is a tough spot. It's a weird spot for Ironton fans to be in. And, for Portsmouth fans, at the end of the day, you can look at it and...
Well, I mean...
you earned your way. At the end of the day, you earned your way.
It also shifts a lot of those round 2 and 3 matchups in that region as well. I mean, we were looking at a Nelsonville versus Barnesville Week 2 matchup in the playoffs, but, I mean, Nelsonville is going to be the 3 seed, Barnesville is going to be the 4 seed, so we ain't going to see those teams meet up unless it was regional finals.
Right.
So, I mean, it shuffles this whole region around, even though it may not look like a big shuffle. It changes the whole scope of it.
It is a huge shuffle of things around that region. Let's go to a region where things have pretty much closed out. It is Region 16, and I say that just for a brief moment. There's not a lot we've got going on in that region from a coverage standpoint, but we have talked about 4 other FAC squads that have made the playoffs. Like, how about a 5th one that made the 12-team playoff format? Washington Courthouse makes the Region 16 as the 8th seed. The Washington Courthouse Blue Lions will likely at least have a home playoff game.
That is insane. Yeah.
I mean, so that's 5 of the 6 FAC schools this season in the playoffs in the 12-team format, not the 16-team format like we've seen in years past. So that's a big improvement from that conference.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 3 of those teams are in Division 3 regions. So, that's a big improvement for the FAC going forward.
Huge improvement there. And you look at that conference, and it looks like they'll take on New Richmond, who's 4-6, Bub. And New Richmond, that's who they'll take on, likely take on the New Richmond Lions in a home game.
Oh, it is crazy to think that they are going to be hosting a home playoff game.
They'll host a home playoff game, yeah.
But, hey, I mean, great for the FAC. Great look for them. Great for the Washington Courthouse Blue Lions. And, I mean, with that team and the points that they can put up on the offensive side, I think they do have a potential to make a run where they do win a game or two.
Let's keep an eye on some of these other regions. Okay, so again, we are looking at. I'm going to go back to Region 19 because this region has closed out. Everything is wrapped up, bow on it. Piketon misses the playoffs. Portsmouth, at least by this standard, misses the playoffs at 13. But if they are the last team out, if Ironton, who mathematically sits at the 1, if they are removed, which by all intents and purposes they will be, Portsmouth will take on, who would that be? It would be Barnesville.
Yep,
at Barnesville in week 1 of the playoffs. So who knows? That would leave Afrocentric Early College to take on Union Local. That would leave Valley to take on Zane Trace at Valley. That could be a great football game. And then Morgan hosting Coalgrove.
Yeah.
Another great football game. Again, Morgan took down Philo this evening. Valley picked up a huge road win as well this evening. Valley and Zane Trace really intrigues me.
Yeah, especially if Zane Trace gets off to a strong and efficient start on the offensive side of the ball with that predominantly rushing attack. I think Zane Trace could make a little spark in this region. I think it's a wide open region until you get to the Berg.
Yeah. Well, and pretty much you're exactly right.
Let's just say it is. I mean, that region is going to be Wheelersburg versus everybody else. Last year it was Ironton versus everybody else. This year it's Wheelersburg versus everybody else.
That's really the way that it's shaping up. Bub, let's swing it over to Region 27 will not be complete again. Tomorrow night there's a game that will mean a lot in that region. But right now, as it sits in 28, it looks as though Eastern, at least for now, sitting in the 2 spot.
Mm-hmm.
We will see.
By 0.02 of a point.
Well, and the other thing is, St. Henry hasn't been thrown in yet.
Mm-hmm.
Nor has Cincinnati Country Day. So they could fall all the way back to the 4. That's realistic. It is very possible. St. Henry, the Redskins, they took on Versailles this evening, who's 4-5. Country Day took on Clark Montessori, who's 2-7 coming into the evening.
I don't think you're that mad about it, though. I mean, look who's sitting at the 5 seed right now, and that's Portsmouth Notre Dame. And you beat them 42-7 earlier on in the year. So, I mean, you get a first-round bye week 2 of the playoffs. You're playing a team you beat by 35 points. You're comfortable with that.
I think the thing that stings the most, though, is that would put you taking on local in week 13 as opposed to week 14, correct?
Yes. But you got to play them at some point.
You got to play them at some point. I'm with you. I completely understand
And it would be
that.
on neutral side at that point.
I completely get it.
So, I mean, it doesn't change anything, but yes, I understand your idea of it.
I get it. But if you got to.
If you got to wait, I mean, chill for a little bit. Like, maybe somebody else just gets lucky and takes them out. Like, I understand the idea of it. I ain't afraid to say, yeah, wait and see if somebody else takes them out. Then you don't have to do their bidding for them.
Yeah, exactly. We'll wait and see there. Again, trying to give you the best playoff picture that we can. Full announcements will be announced by the OHSAA on Sunday. Once all of these things shape up on Saturday evening, you'll get a full picture from the OHSAA on Sunday, and we'll be working all next week to bring you as much coverage we can from the Ohio High School football playoff picture across southeastern Ohio. And Bub, you have the same graphic that I have on your phone regarding a few teams that we talked about being clinched for playoffs coming into the night, which was Jackson, Nelsonville York, Chillicothe, Wheelersburg. We had Ironton on that list. Zane Trace, Uniogo, and Beaver Eastern. In the hunt, we had Athens Valley, Portsmouth, Piketon, Eastern Meigs, Rock Hill, Trimble, and South Gallia. Right now, Athens remains to be seen. That's very up in the air, and I'm going to mention what Tad Steinbrink, our broadcaster for WXTQ, sent me a message a moment ago. He brought up a good point, Bob. He said, ITEL doesn't have River Valley, Meigs, or Vinton County wins in yet. Could be why Athens is still in the 11 or the 13 spot.
Okay.
Once Athens receives the help from those 3 wins this evening, could do some significant things for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, they're only a half point out.
Correct. So, again, shout out to Tad for keeping us in the loop of keeping you in the loop. That's what these guys are for.
I ain't going to go through the whole scope of Athens' chances of getting in there.
What, that's
You're sitting at 13 right now, and you better be hoping you get in.
That's what we rely on those guys over in Athens for, man. They do a really good job. They had a big contest tonight on hand. Pretty much everyone in Athens was over there. Our crews for WATH and WXTQ.
That game was the talk of the area, by the way.
Oh, I mean, as it should have been. Again, they got the 27-12 game, but two
9-0 teams colliding in week 10.
It had all of, and I think Sarge in the pregame said it was the only game of its sort. It was the only 9-0 versus 9-0 contest in the state tonight.
Which just truly shows you how difficult it is to go undefeated in high school football.
It shows you how good those two programs are, too, because it's the third time in 25 years that they've done it.
Yeah, that's insane.
So, I mean, just lights out programs. Big shout out to it. We talked about Nelsonville York quite a bit, but I want to shout out the Athens faithful, man. There were people standing in line well before 5 o'clock for this game this evening. And this is now an entire generation of little Bulldogs, so to speak, Bub, that went through the ranks of watching Joey B play for the Bulldogs and coming up through that legacy. We're a long way removed from the day. I remember, the days of Grant Gregory for Athens and those types of games, Bub. And, those are the games I think back on. But there's that Burrow guy created a whole generation of Bulldogs that take the game of football very seriously. That's a nice program over there. And their fans flat out showed up tonight. So I'll give them some credit for that, man. The Bulldog faithful. Pretty impressive showing tonight at Joe Burrow Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, although the result didn't go your way, I think the one thing that we just kind of got to question a little bit going forward is, are we going to see Athens start scheduling a little bit stiffer competition outside of the conference schedule? Because this is a worrying trend for the Athens Bulldogs, and it's not the players' fault. It's just the way the cookies crumble as far as their schedule. But you want to see them, and not just for the playoff points, but just for the being battle-tested for a Week 10 matchup against Nelsonville York. You need to have a little bit tougher of a schedule out of conference to get you ready for those matchups later on.
Well, you do, and that's kind of what we were talking about. With some of the better teams in the area, they're very tested.
Yes.
Very
Wheelersburg went 0-5 last year, finished the season 5-5, and had a great playoff run.
I mean, you're exactly right. That's the perfect example there, Bub. But I mean, just look at their region. Watterson, Licking Valley, Steubenville, Tri-Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Hamilton
they've
Township.
Got a deadly regionon.
Bloom Carroll, Granville, Sheridan, Buckeye Valley. I mean, Linden, McKinley, who's 8-2 and have played great football. Nothing, like you said, you play who's on your schedule, but at the same time, we see a lot of these other teams schedule tough competition.
Yeah, you play who's on the schedule, but you schedule who you play.
Nelsonville York has been tested 2 or 3 different times this year. That mattered to me in Week 10 in a game that was going to feel like a playoff game, and it did. It did feel like a playoff game.
Absolutely, had the expectations of it, and I mean, for Athens, it almost was a playoff game for them, and it still might be.
Yeah,
We're unsure of that, but if those 3 games aren't included, and Athens is only a half point behind, I do believe that they will get that 12 spot, which is great for the Athens Bulldogs. You get a chance to come back into the playoffs and prove yourselves to the area. That was a fluke of a game. That's not the team we really are. Let's show them who we really are in Week 11.
Absolutely. And Bub, it's worth noting too that Independence, Bishop Hartley, and Athens, the 3 teams that are in the fight for that the last 2 spots in that region, all 3 lost this week. So again, a lot relies on the opponents of those teams and how they played tonight. And again, all that remains to be seen. We'll keep you in line with it all as best we can going forward. We're going to get to another break here. When we return, we will be back with some closing thoughts here as we wind things down on Week 10 of Football Friday nights. We'll give you a little bit better understanding of where things are falling, how the chips are being left on the table here in Week 10, some final scores from around the area as we wrap up as well. Keep it with us here for another 25 minutes or so. You are listening to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Slarks Automotive Services.
Are you tired of dealing with malfunctioning garage doors? Look no further than True Track Garage Doors in Londonderry. Our team of experienced technicians specialize in garage door repairs, installation, and maintenance services. Whether you need a simple repair or a brand new garage door installation, we've got you covered. At True Track Garage Doors, we prioritize customer satisfaction and ensure that your garage door is functioning properly and safely. Contact us today at 740-596-1000 to schedule an appointment or request a free estimate. Call True Track to get you back on track.
Willis Advantage Property Solutions delivers dependable, full-service property maintenance you can trust. We specialize in asphalt repair, infrared patching, surface cleaning, parking lot striping, and powerful hydrojet drain cleaning, serving industrial, commercial, and residential customers across the region. From small fixes to large-scale projects, we get the job done right, on time and on budget. Call now for your free consultation at 740-577-4574. Willis Advantage Property Solutions. We protect and maintain what matters.
Looking for a bank that puts you first? At Farmers Bank, they've been helping neighbors grow for over a century with personal checking and savings, business loans, convenient online and mobile banking, and customer service that treats you like family. Whether you're planting roots or planning your future, Farmers Bank will help every step of the way. Stop by one of their local branches today and experience why Farmers Bank is your hometown bank since 1904. Member FDIC. Farmers Bank, growing with you.
Need new tires? Rick's Tire and Auto has you covered. Looking for top-notch auto service? Rick's Tire and Auto has expertise. And now they're bringing their A-game to Athens County. Owned by Rick Dieter, formerly of Huddle Tire in Athens. Rick's Tire and Auto Service is located at 1353 East Canal Street in Nelsonville. Right off the first Nelsonville exit on 33 West. Stop in for a quick tire change or oil change or schedule an appointment by calling 220-218-4169. At Rick's Tire and Auto, we have your vehicle covered.
Need a ride to your medical appointment? Medication ready for pickup? A.G. Hoy, LLC has you covered. We provide fast, safe, reliable transportation for medical recipients in Hocking, Ross, and Benton counties. And we're proud to announce we're serving Benton County veterans. We thank you for your service. A.G. Hoy is always looking to expand our crew. Apply online or drop anchor at one of these 3 locations today and grab an application. Call 740-596-0536 today to see if you qualify for free transportation. A.G. Hoy, charting a course for care.
When it comes to glass, experience matters, and Pidcock Glass in Nelsonville has over 30 years of it. From windows and doors to custom glass projects, they can handle almost any job. Pidcock Glass is Southeast Ohio's premier service company to call if you're experiencing glass loss or damage. Whether it's your home, business, or special project, trust the experts who've been serving the community for decades. Let Pidcock Glass brighten your day. Call 740-753-4527 or visit pidcockglass.com today. Proud supporters of area high school athletics. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff on Total Media Sports, presented by Slarks Collision Center.
Welcome back. You are listening to Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Slarks Automotive Services. Eric and Bob with you. As we got about 20 minutes left on the program here in Week 10. Appreciate your listening ears on a busy Week 10 in the 740. And, well, Bub, we're winding all of this down. As we mentioned, there were some big games across the area this evening. Well, those things came to a head. Let's go ahead and get you the final scores one more time on a busy Week 10 of Football Friday Nights. Notre Dame Titans take down the Sutterville East Tartans 34-0. Portsmouth West Senators fall to the Wheelersburg Pirates 49-12. The Megs Marauders take down the Alexander Spartans 30-3. Nelsonville York Buckeyes over the Alexander Bulldogs 27-12 at Joe Burrow Stadium or Basil Rutter Field in the Plains. Eastern Megs Eagles knock off the Racine Southern Tornadoes 35-6. The Chillicothe Cavaliers fall to the Jackson Ironman at Alumni Stadium 35-0. The Valley Indians take down the Minford Falcons 49-0. That's a rivalry game there, Bub. If you didn't know, now you do. Northwest Mohawks take down the Oak Hill Oaks 20-0 at Bill Davis Stadium in Oak Hill. The Piketon Red Streaks hold on to knock off the Huntington Huntsmen 36-30. The John Marshall Falcons fall to the John Marshall Monarchs fall to the Fairfield Union Falcons 50-14. The Wellston Golden Rockets fall in the backyard brawl to the Vinton County Vikings 40-0. The Southeastern Panthers fall to the Paint Valley Bearcats 41-15 in Bainbridge. The Ironton Fighting Tigers in their last game of the season take down the Portsmouth Trojans 55-13. The Coal Grove Hornets knock off the Rock Hill Redmen 26-7. The River Valley Raiders go on the road and take down the Fayetteville Perry Rockets 29-12. The Westfall Mustangs fall to the Uneoga Shermans 35-13. The Zane Trace Pioneers, knock off the Adena Warriors 39-8. Gaia Academy Blue Devils take down the South Point Pointers 34-7. The Hamilton Township Rangers take down Logan Elm Braves 38-7. The Hillsborough Indians hang on after McLean's two-point attempt fails. The Indians knock off the Tigers 35-34 in Greenfield. The Fairland Dragons take down the Chesapeake Panthers 34-17. The Circleville Tigers knock off the Bloom Carroll Bulldogs 26-7. The Amanda Clare Creek Aces fall to the Liberty Union Lions 60-47. The Fisher Catholic Irish knock off the Manchester Greyhounds 25-0. Sheridan takes down New Lexington in shocking fashion 31-21. The Warren Warriors fall to the Marietta Tigers 42-14. The Morgan Raiders take down the Philo Electrics 21-12. And that's your final score of a pretty busy Friday evening. The only contest we've got on our slate for tomorrow is that Sims Valley Sims Valley South Gallia game at 7 p.m. tomorrow evening in Mercerville, Bub, Crown City down there, South Gallia.
Yeah, and I think for South Gallia, I think we both took the Rebels in that matchup, and they are one of the teams that is on that playoff cusp. And this would be a big boost taking down a two-loss Sims Valley team right now.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bob, as we kind of peek back over into that region. And again, we urge you on Sunday to kind of keep an eye on things with us as the OHSA will release their final playoff standings. But yeah, Bub, you're exactly right. Sims Valley has a big time opportunity. South Gallia has an opportunity. They control their own destiny, but Sims Valley is playing for not really playing for playoff positioning, I guess, as they've already clinched that top four bye at this point of the season, Bub. So Sims Valley playing for the rivalry and to keep their rival, one of the rivals, I should say, out of the playoff hunt.
Yeah, just keep the gears rolling, right? Like you want to end your season on a win going into the playoffs. Sims Valley, I mean, you are sitting at the 3 spot. It doesn't seem realistic to jump up to the 2 spot, especially with Waterford still sitting there at the 2 spot having Belpre to play. Or that score to come in and be updated on Joe Weidel as well.
Well, Bub, here I was thinking things were getting a little bit uneventful on the show, but they just got a whole lot more eventful now. As we're joined by by the most famous man in Athens County this evening, I think. Rusty Richards on the line with us as we wrap up the show here. You hear us, Coach?
Yeah, guys, I thought I'd get over. I just got the gridiron glory down here at Athens field here, and I'll give you guys a quick call.
Well, we're happy you did, Coach. Congratulations to you. You wrap up a 10-0 season, a huge night for you and your team at Joe Burrow Stadium in Athens, and you guys played a phenomenal football game. Based on what we heard in the pregame show, you had a plan to control the clock, control the tempo of this game, use your guys' physicality, and you thought that would be the difference. It seemed like that plan was pretty well executed this evening.
Yeah, that's been our way the last 2 years. Like both years, we're a little quicker on the extra stuff with us with their receivers, and some kids a good footballer, and he's very, very fast. So the goal was just to our kids 48 minutes of breaking, hit them nice and clean, nothing dirty, but hey, help them. Just like, hey, it's a good night, but when you get hurt, you're going to get hit. And I thought we had some nice tackles on defense, and we contained Sutton enough. Our offensive line was tonight, and so when they do their job, they come pretty easy.
Sure.
So we just Austin got the air. 160 men, and he is tough as they. And we ran him. I don't know how many times up through the A gap, and he just kept moving things for us. So, but again, that got started offensive line, but.
And this is a contest too, Coach, that we felt like your team, you guys are always very well tested. I think you guys schedule very tough throughout the non-conference schedule and things like that. I felt like that was going to be a difference maker in this contest. And there was a little bit of a formula for Athens. It was certainly a doable game for them to some degree. But your defense is just relentless right now, just playing lights out on the defensive side of the ball. Just shut down an offense from the Athens Bulldogs that was averaging nearly 50 points a game.
Yeah, I said our defense, you touched, we thought in this week, didn't really, Athens is off, was pretty 50 points a game, every night, Nate White's always got them. But I knew they lost out on defense from last year. They weren't giving up, but I just felt like they'd been tested here, and we were on coming in that we like Waterford was up front.
Yeah.
Both sides of the ball and what that was. Now they don't have the Sutton with the speed, but we just thought they were more old school, challenged us a lot. And those kind of teams, Cold Grove tried to punch us in the mouth, and we punched back. So got to get those teams under too. It's great 10-0, but you got tested. And obviously for Athens this year, nothing on their own. These teams were just down, so they never got tested in conference. And we had been in that dog. We thought that was going to be a trump card we might have, because we're used to a couple close games, and they really hadn't been tested. So, they played their defense well too, but it felt like we were a little better on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and you guys certainly showed it tonight. I think that your guys' physicality has been something special that you guys have been able to put in your back pocket in every game this season. It's really what sets your guys' brand of football apart in my eyes. I don't want to look too far ahead here, but I got to. It's part of my job here. Your team's now looking at the postseason picture. Obviously, with everything going on down in Ironton, there's just nothing but chaos in the region. In the region, what's your message to your team as you now prepare for the postseason picture?
Just get a time, and next week we get better. We're going to Nelsonville, New York. Because we left some out there tonight. Both sides all trying to get better, and then we won't find it out till next night. We'll be there, or whoever that game is, I'll be there. So coming home and get some on Saturday and get ready for. So next week's just up a little bit, go back off to hitting a little bit, and I got a question for you guys.
Yes,
you
sir.
Games this year, is there anybody out there in number 7, Caleb Layton?
My God.
Or am I just biased? This kid is fast. He's a kid, smile face, and he's just playing, having fun, and he dominates. Dakota Cunningham on the other night had just as good a game. Sergeant defensive ends were just lights out.
Lights out, and I don't know if I can get into the better discussion, but more disruptive. Hey, Coach, more disruptive. Yeah. I don't know that there's a player on the defensive front in Southeastern Ohio who's more disruptive. He's lights out, Coach.
That's how I felt. I'm talking to the sophomore, junior. So I was like, Caleb, go get it. He's like, I'm not tired. I'm like, go get a drink. And I look at our offense coach because he wasn't in defense. So I'm out there every day.
Yeah.
And scout defense against, because I want to run a play with you just disrupting everything. And he always makes a tackle, but he can guards back into it's like, Smile, take a break, man. We want to run without somebody getting hurt.
He's one of those kids that comes off the field twice a game, halftime and when it's over, right, Coach?
Exactly.
Hey, we'll let you go, get your weekend. Anything else before we let you get out of here?
No, just that's all for our kids, our kids. Again, they execute the game plan and it's bought in. You know, they go 1-0, and I just told them before the game, guys, I'm just asking one more. Let's go one more time. And I said, well, the playoffs we get there to finish what you started. And the same mess halftime. Nobody, when they scored, I said, guys, this is a big drive. No score here. I'm on their heels, and they missed the point. And I think we had the ball the whole third because they fumbled off. So, again, we weren't getting big, but we were fine with 3 or 4 yards at a time. So just thank guys for doing what you're doing. And hopefully we can talk to you in the playoffs. So.
Well, we hope so, Coach. You got a team that responds like quite unlike any other team that we've seen this year. So good luck to you. We're looking forward to seeing what you do in weeks, well, not 11, but 12, 13, and so on.
Thank you, and good Bucks.
Yes, sir. Coach Rusty Richards of the Nelsonville York Buckeyes, the most famous man in Athens County this evening, Bub. And I'll tell you what, there are few coaches we'd rather sit around and talk some football with than Rusty Richards, man. He calls in and chats with us, and you're ready to run out of the locker room a little bit.
He might be the most busy guy in southeastern Ohio tonight after tonight's win.
I mean, I'll tell you what, man, hats off to him and his team. They've earned everything that they've had put in front of them on the season. He talked about his team being tested. I mean, Bub, look back at this schedule here, and that's really the difference. They saw a team in Trimble in week 1 that had 5 wins. How about Cole Grove that went 8-2 on the year? They comfortably beat Cole Grove 34-6. How about Waterford? There's another one for you.
3.
And then the Athens Bulldogs, who are based
borderline.
They are borderline, Bub, but also
is it updated?
Tad Steinbrink said the Benton County win is in now, so Athens is creeping closer in the playoff standings. On the Joe Lytle website, Meg's in River Valley still not entered at that time.
0.19 points.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I think they get in once they're entered.
I think you're right. Big shout out to Tad for keeping us informed and updated. We appreciate that as we try to do the same for all of the other folks across southeastern Ohio. Bub, it's about time for us to get to one more break before we come back to wrap up final thoughts. Do you have anything to say before the break, sir?
One thing about head coach Rusty Richards, I know last year it felt great hoisting that trophy on their home field, but I bet you it felt a little bit better this year doing it on the Bulldogs one.
You know it meant a little something extra to him and his team tonight. So again, that's why they play these Week 10 games, man. You know, it's a huge rivalry for not only the Bucks, but Athens County, the state. In this particular case, and there were a whole lot of eyes on that one over in Athens this evening in the Plains, Bub, the Plains. We got to get to a break. When we return, final thoughts from Week 10, and we're going to look ahead at the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Yeah, the playoffs, Bub. When we return, keep it right here. One final time, football Friday nights.
Over the years, we've been asked a lot of questions, like why is our bank any different than those big city financials? After all, most banks offer the same products and services. The difference is our people and our service. We give you the one-on-one, first-name, friendly service that you deserve. Ohio Valley Bank, a better way to bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at ovbc.com.
Craving good eats in Nelsonville? Head over to Nick's Station, home of Footlong Friday, where the footlongs bring the flavor all day long. And now introducing Western Burger Wednesday. Get a juicy Western burger and a medium drink for just $8.99. Then cool off with Nick's delicious ice cream treats. The perfect ending to any meal. They've extended their hours, so stop by Monday through Thursday until 10, Friday and Saturday until 11, and Sunday until 9. Nick's Station, fast and friendly with hometown flavor. Nick's is a proud supporter of Area High School sports.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent is McFadden Insurance. Get a quote today at McFadden-insurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. Go to ErieInsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
House hunting? Selling? Don't get sacked by stress. Howard Hanna Real Estate and the McNerlin Network team are your real estate MVPs in Jackson. They've got full playbook, mortgage, title, home warranty, insurance, and global marketing that scores big with buyers. No fumbles, no flags, just smooth moves to the end zone of home ownership. Call 740-702-6000. Let Howard Hanna Real Estate and the McNerlin Network team quarterback your next big win.
Willis Advantage Property Solutions delivers dependable, full-service property maintenance you can trust. We specialize in asphalt repair, infrared patching, surface cleaning, parking lot striping, and powerful hydrojet drain cleaning, serving industrial, commercial, and residential customers across the region. From small fixes to large-scale projects, we get the job done right, on time, and on budget. Call now for your free consultation at 740-577-4574. Willis Advantage Property Solutions. We protect and maintain what matters.
The Uptown Clinic powered by Holzer is located at 5 North Court Street in Athens. Nurse practitioner Amy Ward and staff provide walk-in urgent care services, on-site lab testing, primary care services, and much more. If you're on your way to work, class, or back home and need care, stop by the Holzer Uptown Clinic, conveniently located for Ohio University students, staff, and families. That's the Holzer Uptown Clinic at 5 North Court Street in Athens.
To more of Football Friday Kickoff on Total Media Sports, presented by Slarks Collision Center.
Yeah, we are. Welcome back. You're listening to Football Friday Nights. It's Eric, it's Bub, live from the War Room, presented by Slarks Automotive Services. We are with you for just a few more minutes here, wrapping things up on a busy Week 10, but a busy regular season. It has been an awesome regular season across the 7-4-0. Seems like just yesterday we were kicking the season off in Portsmouth for Uniogo Portsmouth on a Thursday night, back August 21st, Bub. A night that saw Uniogo earn its first win of 10 on the year. Now SVC champions, Uniogo. The FAC champions are the Jackson Ironmen. TVC Ohio champions are Nelsonville York. The TVC Hawking champions are the Waterford Wildcats. The MSL champions are the Bloom Carroll Bulldogs, despite the loss tonight. In the SOC1, the Eastern Beaver Eagles win the conference. The Wheelersburg Pirates win it in the SOC2. And Coal Grove wins the Ohio Valley Conference. Those are your conference winners, Bub. What do you have for us as you wrap up your thoughts on the night?
Well, the Eastern Beaver Eagles might have won their conference, but that game tomorrow night between Sims Valley and South Gallia, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
South Gallia could potentially move from a team that's looking on their way out of the playoffs all the way up to the 5 or 6 seed with a win against Sims Valley. But it's not going to be an easy task. This is a Sims Valley team that has scored 50-plus points 4 times and 60-plus points twice. So South Gallia is going to have to figure out a way to slow down this Sims Valley offense, and they're going to have to do it in a way that they didn't against Eastern Beaver earlier in the year.
Yeah, and that's a really good point that you bring up too, Bub, because not only is it a rivalry contest, but both of those teams huge playoff implications. It could change the course of how they continue to play the game of football this year, if they get to continue playing the game of football. Bub, for me, I'm impressed with the Jackson Ironmen. For the first time in school history, they've won their conference 5 times in a row. My hat's off to Andy Hall at this point, man. This evening they recognized 4 teams from the 90s that seemed, those were the teams you wanted to try to outdo on the wall up there, Bub. You remember those teams from the 90s? The Shane Wolfords, the Joey Boggs, the Rodney Campbells of the world. How about those guys? Well, Andy Hall has found a way, maybe not to, I don't know if outdoing that 90s group is the right word, but he's found a way to rival them, no doubt about it. And hats off to Jackson and the program that they've got going right now.
In a very doable region.
Very doable region. And Bub, I love the word region because we're going to be saying it a lot over these next few weeks as we start looking down the barrel that is playoffs in southeastern Ohio. Make sure you're on your playoff radar all weekend long. Full announcement Sunday. And we'll be somewhere doing something next Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Until then, on behalf of our team here at Total Media Sports, our Football Friday Nights crew, Eric Bubb and Ethan Sargent, we will see you in Week 11 for Football Friday Nights, brought to you by Starks Automotive Services. See you then.
This has been Football Friday Night from the Total Media Sports Network, presented by Slarks Collision Center. Tonight's show has been welcomed by
Holzer Health System, Howard Hanna, McMillan Network, AT Hoy Transport, Higgins Steel Roofing, Rocky Outdoor Gear Store, Nick Station, Steak and Shake, True Track Garage Doors, McFadden Insurance, Ohio Valley Bank, Hocking College, Area Agency on Aging District 7, Willis Advantage Property Solutions, Didcot Glass, and Southern Ohio Souls.
Make sure to join us before and after your high school football game every Friday night. This has been a production of the Total Media Sports Network. All rights reserved.
Southeast Ohio sports leader, 970 AM and 97.3 FM. The Game. WATH Athens, a Total Media Group station. Southeast Ohio sports leader, 970 AM and 97.3 FM. The Game. WATH Athens, a Total Media Group station.
2 Saturday nights in Toronto, also on Fox TV, also at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 4 late games in the NBA, including right now late third quarter in L.A. The Lakers ahead 99-88 over the Timberwolves. Luka Doncic with 38 points, 23 in the first quarter. Halftime in L.A. for the Clippers game. They're up 72-56 against the Suns at the break. 26 points in the first half for James Harden. Golden State Steph Curry with 35 through 3 quarters, but at Portland, the Blazers lead the Warriors 103-91. Milwaukee won at Toronto 122-116. I'm Steve DeSager.
Please welcome
Jason Smith. Mike Harmon.
Evangelize.
Yeah, that.
Rhyming and stealing in a drunken state, and I'll be rocking my rhymes.
This is the greatest show. It's everything you ever want.
They talk about this.
You want to get rid of a guy a year too early or a year too late?
Fire them all.
They talk about that.
The Jets stink. Yeah. Syracuse basketball.
You know how this works by now.
Yeah, look, my teams exist for you to just laugh at, and that's absolutely the case today. Well, I'll one-up you.
You're listening to the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Oh, yeah.
Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios. Here they are. Jason Smith and Mike Harmon.
Greetings, welcome inside Hour 3, the Jason Smith Show with my best friend Mike Harmon.
Hobo.
Don't forget to check out our brand new YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/@JasonSmithShow. That's youtube.com/@JasonSmithShow. Or if you're on YouTube already,